name and he appears.
This is a friendship that'll never ever end.
Greetings and welcome to Winning Saturday Night. How's everybody doing out there? Hope you are all doing and living well. Tonight on Winning Saturday Night, our hostess with the most is Shelly, talking trash and truth is hanging tight with me. And we are here to have a good time. We'll be going over the good news of the week. We'll be talking about cool things in our cool things segment. And we'll also have some funny videos for you as well. But let's start out by thanking all those awesome people in the winner's circle who helped make it happen month in and month out. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, each and every one of you. Thank you for being part of the solution. And a big thanks to Shelly and Wolfram, who also support us over on Rumble as well. We are broadcasting live tonight on Rumble, YouTube, and X. And away we go. Shelly, say hello to everybody.
Hey, everybody. What's up? Happy Saturday. Hope you're all doing well.
All right. We got a lot of people here in the crowd already. Our VIPs in the front row. We got Suzanne was first. Hey, Suzanne, how you doing? Hope you're doing well.
Susie.
She said she wasn't going to be here that long. She doesn't know how long. Suzanne, you should have met some people that came in here the other night. If you were here the other night, you had an interesting conversation with some Canadians that stopped by for sure. It's funny, I didn't have any of my Canadian crowd in that night. And they were interesting. I don't think I've ever met anybody who were anti-Indian before, but I was going to ask a Canadian crowd if that was a thing now, or if that was just a special occasion. Oh, Wild Adventurer, what's up? Yes, you did get the Dancing Wolf, and yes, that is Wolfram in there. Yes, it is. And there's Pothead Kenny. What's up? April's doing that bike ride.
Kenny.
I'll be honoring you, and no thanks needed. Just stay the course, and we will stay the course. And good luck on your bike ride, and let us know how that looks and what's going on with that. That'd be awesome. And there's Cynthia Firefox. What's up? Fairy. I said Firefox. Fairy. Fox and Fairy. Thank you for stopping by and dropping a like. I appreciate it. And we hope to see you later on in the show. There is Heidi. Heidi, what's going on? How you doing? Thanks for holding it down on the Rumble side. I hope you're doing well out there as well. And it's Wolfram. Wolfram, thank my friend. Thank you so much for dropping these links. Remember, guys, when you're here to always listen to the wolf, he knows what he's talking about. And he wipes his paws, he loops in, and he howls. And in case you didn't know, that's how you know the Alpha Mod is in the house. That's right. All right. We got Serene Pickle. What's going on?
Hey.
Good to see you over there on the Rumble side. Thank you for joining us this evening. And we got Blue Lantern. The Blue Lantern is here. Hi. How you doing?
Blue.
Good to see you. All right, VIPs. You have been shouted out. And here we are. I haven't done a Winning Saturday Night in a while. It seems like it's been a while. I don't know when the last time I did one was, actually, but that's okay because we're doing it tonight and you guys are all here. This is our laid back show of the week where we just chill out and have some fun and look at some cool things and funny videos and good takes on stuff and just all that stuff. We're all business around here a lot of times, staying up to date with the top news and what's going on in the world, reading important books, and degrifting grifters and deep diving into the veils of perception. That's what we're doing here during the week, every week. And so on Saturday nights, we just kind of take it easy, chill out. And then on Sundays, we do old school watch party Sunday. That's coming back. And we'll be kicking that back off in style. So there you go. We'll be doing something tomorrow night. At some point, it'll be happening. No, normal time, but I'm not quite sure which direction we're going to go as far as the documentary goes. So we do that, do the movie, or we may show up and do the special Outer Veil series, Unveiling Reality. I don't know which one we're going to do yet. I don't know why I wait till the last minute to decide, but I want to see. We got to collaborate on that. But if I do the Outer Veil series on Sundays, I want you to do it with me, Shelly. We'll do that CMTU stuff I really want to do that, at least that one main interview, um, and see where that goes. How much thought and interesting conversation it can produce. That's some serious out of rails thought processing going on there. Meaning of life, good and evil, all that stuff is all involved in the CMTU, um, which is a very interesting topic. So um, I keep going back and forth between doing that and doing a documentary and a movie, or just doing a long documentary. I don't know. We'll figure it out. That's okay. Got to keep it a little bit of mystery going on here, a little bit of excitement, and keep you on the edge of your seats. That's what we're doing. What's going on out there? Was the JD Vance speech in Germany the D? Sorry, I omitted that. Incomplete thought. I had to restart. My bad. Was the JD Vance speech in Germany the the best speech ever spoken on European soil? We only saw one part of it. We saw the part he was talking about AI and
Yeah.
whatnot. We didn't get through the whole thing. Hey, Levy, what's up? How you doing? Good to see you.
Levy. Cyrene was sent by Castro. Oh,
Oh,
he's so
cool.
sweet.
Serene.
Cyrene Pickle.
I thought it was
Uh,
Serene.
I guess. I don't know. You know, I don't pronounce things the way other people do.
I'm just running
Like,
up on mispronouncing
God,
it wrong.
no, just just me being me. Just like I don't
Me
say
being me.
iris, I say eris. Like, because I
Russ.
like to. Well, you know what? It's what makes me
Amp
me.
33. What's up? How
Oh,
you doing?
Andrea. Hi, how's my favorite Aussie? What's up?
Welcome, welcome. Good day.
Good
Good day to
eye.
you.
Good eye. You
Mhm.
want to go outside on my deck? You like my deck? Do. For Blue, I mean the speech. I saw JD Vance's speech. It was good, but I mean, there's still Churchill was there. At some point in history, he was a pretty good speaker. I don't know, I don't know if you ever caught any of his speeches. Might want to look into that. The man was he was a lot of things, but he was an excellent orator. There's all I had to
Good
say.
at oration.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, cool. Good. I'm just making
Oh.
sure we're up and running on all platforms here.
I'm just gonna call you Pickle. Either way is fine. Serena's French for mermaid. It's also a Bulgarian cheese. Okay. I'm just gonna call you Pickle. You're just gonna be Pickle. So, because I don't have the brain power tonight to try to decide between the two names.
Yep. We got low on sleep, Shelly, tonight.
Yep. Lucky people. You are welcome.
Mhm.
You are welcome.
She did a stream this morning, very early in the morning. Surprise stream, a pop-up stream. What would you call it? An
Mhm.
insomniac stream.
It was my insomniac stream. Yeah. Haven't done one of those in
Dig
a
it.
long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
Well, part of the reason Shelly didn't get a lot of sleep last night is because her mom managed to catch the kitchen on fire boiling water.
Yeah.
That sink in. Go
Yeah.
ahead and tell him, Shelly.
No, I fell asleep after the stream, like about an hour and a half after the stream, so around 10:30 this morning. And then I was woken up by my mother screaming for help because she was boiling water to make hard-boiled eggs on the stove and somehow managed to start a grease fire. And then didn't know how to put it out. Didn't think to turn the burner off, didn't think to throw a cover on it, didn't think to grab the salt or the baking soda that were literally right there. No, it was let me stand here, watch it for a minute, and then scream at the top of my lungs so that I scare everybody in the goddamn house. So, out of a sound sleep, I flew because apparently my feet don't touch the ground when I'm afraid. And I flew in there and I turned the thing off. I ripped the burner out of the stove, threw it in the metal sink, and I threw the drip pan in there and put them out. But yeah, so
Oh, how did you rip the burner off when it was hot? What did you use?
I told you I opened the drawer right there that had the silicone tongs that I use when I'm frying, and I just grabbed it and I grabbed it. Listen, I think on my feet. I mean, I'm very good at thinking on my feet. But no, I wasn't gonna grab it with my hand or anything. It's crazy. But she scared the hell out of all of us. The fire scared the hell out of her. There's no damage. There's not even like smoke residue, nothing. There was like a little soot on the underside of the microwave. And if that would have caught fire, more power to it. But I'm kidding God. Don't do it. My mother's no longer allowed to cook unsupervised because when you can set water on fire, like, I mean, granted, it wasn't the water that caught on fire. There was like a residue of oil in the drip pan, and she put the water to boil at number 9, the highest heat, which you just don't do with an electric stove, because that's bad. And it caught fire. But now she got the shit scared out of her. She's worried about fire. She got fire on the brain. So what does her husband do tonight? After 2 months of like no fireplace action at all, he lights the biggest fire that he could in the fireplace. And she said, and every time it pops, she jumps. Every fucking time. Oops, sorry. F-bomb slip. Well, whatever.
Oh, it's all right. How's it going, Vice, baby? I just went ahead and subscribed to your channel. How you doing? Good to see you. Welcome to the show. And nice to meet you. Thanks for coming by and hanging out with us. We appreciate it. So you got a really nice little channel going on over there. So you got one more subscriber from Lee. There you go. I appreciate you subscribing here.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's see.
Like I missed this morning. No, it was super early, Heidi. I went at 6 o'clock in the morning. Just because I was awake. So you didn't miss nothing. I missed you and Wolfram though, because I wanted to drop Arby's link and I was like, one of my mods, damn it, I have no mods. I was like, there's nobody here. I'm so used
working
to
off hours.
There. I know. I'm so used to you being there.
Let's see.
Oh my!
It was early,
Andrew. Yeah, it was real early. Andrew said her mother decided to change the curtains in the kitchen, so she sprayed fly spray onto a lit candle, hence no curtain.
Oh. You sprayed fly spray.
Our mother's a gem. You know, there's Raid. That's Wolfram, I dropped his link once I came in. I know, honey. Thank you very much for that. It was just so weird to be like, could you guys, oh crap, they're not there. What do I do? How do I do this? Oh my God, I don't have a link ready. I was like a little panicked. I was like, oh, they're not here. So see, you're well missed. I appreciate you. I understand you guys do a lot for us. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. We appreciate our mods like no others. Like no others, like you wouldn't believe.
Can't even imagine.
Never
been seen before. Never been seen before.
Greatest of all time.
What are we looking at? Oh, if I can, real quick. Guys, I know you all know T-Rex. And his family is going through a little something right now, a little health crisis with his dad. If you guys could just maybe send some good thoughts out to him, maybe say a little, include him in your prayers or whatever, I would very much appreciate it personally if you do that, because I just worry about him. And it was out of nowhere, and he was really upset. So if you see T-Rex, be a little nice, like, to him. I know everybody's nice to him, but like, just, kid gloves. I forget sometimes he's only like 28 years old. So he's still a baby in a lot of ways. So if you can, just send him some love. I would very much appreciate that if you did that. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
Yep. And in case you don't know him or forgot what he looks like or forgot how good his singing voice is, here's this.
nerve. Positive vibes, that's what we're all about. Gonna lift you up when you're feeling down. Every day we're gonna make it bright. Good news coming your way. You're gonna smile no matter the day. Good news, turning it around in this crazy world. It's the good news of the week. Oh, 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 oh.
This pilot unexpectedly adopted a kitten in the middle of a flight while he was in the process of rescuing nearly 150 other animals. Southwest Airlines pilot Matthew Prebish says that he's always considered himself more of a dog person, but when he met this kitten, she just caught his heart. Teaming up with Greater Good Charities and Lucky Dog Animal Rescue, Captain Matt volunteered to help empty the shelters in areas affected by Hurricanes Helene and Milton by flying existing shelter residents to other rescues around the country, creating space at those affected shelters for all the newly displaced pets that were lost when the hurricanes hit. After landing in Milwaukee, weather delays gave Matt the time to mingle with his four-legged passengers. And that's when he spotted Avery pressed up against the side of her crate. She kept meowing at him as if she were trying to get his attention. And once he held her, he just knew that they were a match. Though he hadn't planned on adopting, Matt called his wife to discuss it. She immediately approved, saying that she kind of knew all along that he'd probably be coming home with a new family member. Avery has been settling into her new home perfectly, and the rest of the 95 cats and 52 dogs from the flight will soon be going to their forever homes too. A company in Japan has 10 cats on staff, which is about 1 cat for every 3 human employees, and one of those cat employees even became the highest ranked staff member in the business after successfully climbing the corporate ladder over 20 years. The web development company is called QNote, and the only eligibility requirement on their application is must love cats, because the owner, Nobuyuki, believes that all job skills can be taught, but if you don't like cats, it just won't work out. This all started in 2004 when Nobuyuki adopted and hired Futaba as a junior sales cat. After seeing how much of a positive effect Futaba had on employee morale, he just had to expand the feline workforce. As more rescue cats joined, the office was renovated with lots of climbing and napping spots. And Futaba was promoted to chair cat, managing to outrank even the company's founder. While Futaba did recently pass peacefully at 20 years old, she did an excellent job training the next professional in line, whose name is Milk the Meownager. Nobuyuki says that he knows having cats in the workplace can be distracting, but he considers that a feature, not a bug. He appreciates how the cats force his human employees to take breaks, and says that they're actually his secret to fostering a flexible and positive work environment. This cat accidentally landed a job and a new home after he was found living in a parking lot in the Philippines. He even helped his coworkers through a difficult grieving period in the process. His name is Conan, and he's the official security cat at the Worldwide Corporate Center in Manila. But before Conan ever stepped into the building, his job was filled by this other beloved security cat named Ming Ming. Ming Ming was truly the pride and joy of the building, always making his coworkers smile and providing companionship during long security shifts that can feel pretty lonely. When Ming Ming passed away last year due to an illness, his human coworkers were devastated. So when one of the building's housekeepers found a malnourished kitten that looked strikingly similar to Ming Ming crying in their parking lot, it felt like it was meant to be. The housekeeper nursed Conan back to health, and once he was old enough, staff brought him on board as a trainee for the security cat position, passing down Ming Ming's uniform to him. Conan has been on the job for over a year now, and he behaves so similarly to Ming Ming that he even chooses the same spots for his cat naps. His coworkers say that he's carrying on Ming Ming's legacy perfectly, making the whole workplace feel like home again. And when Conan isn't assisting the guards with their rounds, he can usually be found greeting people from a table at the entrance, right where Ming Ming always stood guard.
All right.
Sounds
there you
like
go.
Ming Ming might have gotten busy.
Right?
Left a legacy.
Kicking off the good news of the week was good news girl herself. That's how we always kick off the good news of the week. And that's the segment we're in right now. Coming up later in the show, our cool thing segment and our funny video segment. That's what we do here on Winning Saturday Night. Aside from just sit here and hang out and chit chat and along with this awesome crowd. There you go. Like how I did that? It is adorable. Absolutely. Absolutely adorable. Right, Shell?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Ming Wing had a fling fling.
There you go. I like that, Levy.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, let's see. Make sure I got my winning speed on
Mm?
for this next one.
Oh.
They're gonna be all over the place tonight. I have
Oh,
no
cool.
particular order of anything
Well,
at
my
all.
brain ain't working, so they'll be in perfect order to me.
Yeah, see, that means it's in perfect order, right?
Yep.
In
As long as I'm
disorder.
happy, the world is right.
Perfect disorder. All right. Well, I don't know what this is, but we'll see. It sounds like good news. Trump had an amazing week. Here are the highlights. This is the highlights of all of the mayhem going on this week in terms of, the corrupt establishment being exposed like never before. Win after win after win after win. Things are going well. And you know what? We might just have a gosh darn as good as we can get it on this government before too long at all. The and I like I keep saying, I think the closer the more it gets exposed, the closer we get to no income tax. So I already sent my ex tweet out about that, my ex post about that out to Elon and the president, stating I don't know how we could possibly explain why Americans should have to pay back taxes now, or taxes for several years to come, because you can't pay all that fraud back. It's impossible to pay that fraud back. So you got to do some kind of remedy. So if you go to my X page on the very front is that post somewhere. Yeah, it's around there somewhere. It's either that or replies, just one or the other. I don't know which one. Where it shows up first. Or if anywhere. God bless America. I added a bunch of other stuff on top of it. Yeah, it's down there somewhere, so you can find it. All right. Well, next story up. Let's go, Shell.
Let's see what the president has been up to in the last 24 hours. Does this guy sleep?
What's Melania doing for Valentine's Day today? Is this something when he's the president of the United States? Is he thinking about that type of thing?
No, I think he has people who think about
people
that
who
kind
have
of thing.
people.
Yeah, people who have people.
Mhm.
Usually, maybe his son, like
This guy's
Dad.
just a little slow.
Maybe you should carve out a couple of hours
Yeah.
tonight. Oh crap! You're president. I think I can make a few calls.
I feel like it's interesting just the fact that we have a president that's awake like every day. He seems to wake up.
Right?
We see him places. Have you noticed this? I don't know if you've noticed this at all, but like the current president of the United States, we see him out doing things. Isn't that weird? It feels weird. I don't know about this new system we have where the president is awake every day. That's a strange. It's changing our traditions, but I'm concerned about it.
It is. Well, Barack knows we've got to change our.
That's true.
Yeah. Anyway, Trump has dropped the hammer on the rest of the world with tariffs, and I kind of like this tariff. Whatever they charge us, we're going to charge them. So
Reciprocal tariffs.
Reciprocal tariff. That's fair. We're not going to charge you. I mean, maybe China, but we're not going to charge you more than you charge us. You charge us something, we'll charge you. I think that's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting how it certainly seems fair.
Yeah.
Right. Like, don't fire up, because the rest of the world loves tariffs. They love tariffs more than we love tariffs, even though Trump,
I don't love tariffs.
I don't love them at all.
Yes.
Trump does love them. You've talked to him about this even in private conversations.
Yes.
This is not, by the way, in case you were wondering, does he just saying this for the cameras? No, he really loves them. He loves tariffs. I don't agree with him on that particular policy, though he has used it to great effect, of course, recently.
Yeah.
That being said, I mean, if someone starts charging you 175% tariff on a particular item, picking that same item and putting a tariff of 175% certainly is fair. Now, of course, the reason we import things typically is because we don't have them here.
Right.
So,
but not necessarily like
not
cars.
always. Yeah, not always.
Like cars. Europe charges us 10% tariff to send a Ford over, and we charge them 2% to send a Mercedes.
And
I mean, now, fair about that.
Again, one of the things that's fair about that is us not paying an extra 8% on a car. Right? Like that is we get a benefit of that as a consumer, that if we want to buy a European car, we'll pay a little bit less, and now we'll pay a little bit more. So there is a penalty to that. However, it is certainly fair. The word fair, I think, applies when it comes to nation-to-nation relation. Yeah. One of the things we've liked about having these lower tariffs on our side is getting lower prices for our consumers.
Correct.
And so, and as Trump has discussed, he's been very upfront with this. There's going to be pain with these policies, but long-term, we think it's worth it. And that's really where, the rubber meets the road.
Okay, so now everybody's very, very, very upset about Donald Trump signing off on Doge and the audit of the IRS.
Oh, really?
Now, I do have to question your sanity when you're against the audit of the IRS. I mean,
Right.
They seem to be for audits.
Wow, yeah.
I can't audit them.
Who do you have to be against an audit of the IRS?
Right.
And
the IRS.
bring every single receipt you have. I want to see every receipt. I want to help them.
By the way, Glenn,
Yeah.
I work with you. My job is, and for multiple decades now, has to become closely associated with Glenn Beck.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Oh, it's the
perks
perks,
on
the
that one.
benefits.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh,
Yeah.
I can't even count them.
Yeah.
Yet, somehow, I made it through the entire Barack Obama administration and the entire Joe Biden administration without getting audited.
Yeah, not me.
And I know, I remember.
Yeah.
And yet, what happens 2 weeks ago I get a letter from the IRS with Trump in office that I'm getting audited. And I don't know if this was just like a parting gift from the Biden administration.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Well, how is that happening? After all that, I mean,
thank God somebody noticed your shadiness. Somebody finally noticed. He's very shady. He's very shady. You know, the good thing is both of us stay to our accountants. We always say the same thing. Anybody who's preparing our test, stay way away from the line.
Yes, 100%.
When in doubt, leave it out.
But still, it's incredibly frustrating. And like, we were talking to Alan Dershowitz yesterday. He's like, I've got every single book, everything.
I know.
Like, I mean, yeah, sure. Somewhere I have every receipt from 2022. I'm sure, but I mean, this is this relationship that we have with the government that is this adversarial torture fest that we pay for every year. We all like, oh gosh, I can't wait to pay my taxes. Maybe I'll get a refund. Maybe they'll give me some of the money that is mine back to me multiple months later.
I believe that's what happened to me. I believe they actually owed me money.
After the audit?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah, because you were...
I stay away from the line.
Right.
Yeah, no, I don't. Jail time doesn't sound good to me.
No.
In any way, shape, or form.
And if the wrong administration is in there, the wrong IRS agent that doesn't like your show happens to be doing it, well, guess what happens?
So IRS getting audited, that's good.
They push it beyond the limits of normalcy.
So the good senator and common sense-filled senator from Oregon, Ron Wyden, said, this means Musk's henchmen are in a position to dig through a trove of data about every taxpayer in America.
No.
Wait, what? You mean like the IRS does?
Core government function to you guys.
What's up with that? And it could very well be the reason behind any possible delays in people receiving their tax refunds for 2024. What a scare tactic. These guys are so freaked out about Donald Trump. I mean, the one thing that happened yesterday that everybody should recognize, Mitch McConnell was alone. He was alone. Huge. That's gigantic.
On 2 votes, Tulsi and RFK.
I know.
And before this, if McConnell said, hey, this is where I'm going, he would always have a bunch of buddies that would come with him, his closest friends. And they would always do that.
It's weird. You cut off the money and things change.
Yeah, he no longer has the leadership. He no longer has control of that cash. All of a sudden, he's a lonesome dove.
Yep. So I just want to ask, are you tired of winning? Let me just give you the winning streak so far in Congress. Marco Rubio voted to be confirmed 99-0. Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent, confirmed 68-29. Secretary of the Interior, Doug Burgum, 79-18. Brooke Rollins, Secretary of Agriculture, 72-28. Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy, 77-22. Pam Bondi, 54-46. Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Scott Turner, 55-44. Secretary of Energy, Chris Wright, 59-38. Doug Collins, Veterans Affairs, 77-23. Christy Nome, Secretary of Homeland Security, 59-34. Lee Zeldin became the EPA Administrator, 56-42. I got to tell you, Lee Zeldin, there's some stuff that he did yesterday. You're like, holy cow.
I have high hopes for him.
Me too.
I mean, he's off to a very good start.
Yeah, Russ Vought, who I just absolutely love. Director of Office Management and Budget. He's done a lot of incredible things this week, 53-47. John Ratcliffe confirmed as CIA Director, 74-25. Tulsi Gabbard and RFK were confirmed yesterday. You have Kash Patel, who got out of the committee and is going to be voted on early next week. And, of course, you have Pete Hegseth. I mean, and Mitch McConnell standing there alone all day yesterday.
Yep.
This is good. Now, the president did a couple of other things yesterday that are groundbreaking. But we need to make sure Congress passes all of these things as laws, and they're not just executive orders.
Yes.
And that's going to require us to keep the heat on Congress. And they're working on the budget. Congress just put together their budget for next year. The Senate is squealing like stuck little pigs. But we need to get them to pass in one bill. And you're going to get some crap in that one bill, I'm sure. But you really have a hard time going to get 2 bills through on reconciliation. So we need it in one bill.
All right. Well, there you go. It's a bunch of good news wrapped into one.
I sent you some stuff in the private chat. I sent you some stuff in the private chat.
Oh, good. We'd have to watch it. This interview I don't think it's dropped yet, but I think it's dropping soon. And this is the Bosom Buddies interview that everybody's been waiting for. Trump and Elon together. And here is a clip of that. A little preview of what's to come here. And let's take a quick look at it.
Both aware, you have to be keenly aware that the media and the punditry class, not that, I think you've proven they have no power anymore because they threw everything they had at you and they didn't win. And that was
never get tired.
The New York Times, Washington Post, 3 networks, every late night comedy show, 2 cable channels. They threw everything, lawfare, weaponization. Sure. And now I see they want you two to start. They want a divorce. They want you two to start hating each other. And they try. Oh, President Elon Musk, for example. You do know that they're doing that to you.
Oh, I see it all the time. They tried it, then they stopped. That wasn't. They have many different things of hatred. Actually, Elon called me. He said, they're trying to drive us apart. I said, absolutely. No, they said, we have breaking news. Donald Trump has ceded control of the presidency to Elon Musk. President Musk will be attending a cabinet meeting tonight at 8 o'clock. And I say, it's just so obvious. They're so bad at it. I used to think they were good at it. They're
Yeah.
actually bad at it, because if they were good at it, I'd never be president. Because I think nobody in history has ever gotten more bad publicity than me. I could do the greatest things. I get 98% bad publicity. I could do, outside of you and a few of your very good friends, it's like the craziest thing. But you know what I have learned, Elon? The people are smart. They get it.
Yeah, they do.
They
Actually.
get it. They really see what's happening.
Yes.
All right. They're all quick clip there on that one. So yeah, of course they're gonna try to do that, and their tactics are so weak. It doesn't seem like back in the day, well, back in the day, but not too long ago, right? It seemed like it was so worrisome every time they put something out. It felt like it was really having more of a real effect, and it was, because people were becoming more and more deranged as time went on, buying into worse and worse ideas, and just going. You would see the narrative come out, and people were buying into it hook, line, and sinker, and there seemed to be a lot more optics around that buy-in, right? And these days, it seems like it just falls flat immediately, which is such a great thing. It really kind of like lowers the stress level a little bit on that kind of stuff. And it's almost like, go ahead, open your mouth and just credit yourself more. When in the past, it was like, let's get out there and counter that narrative quick before someone buys into it. Now it's like, I feel like, you sure you want to say that? You sure you want to put yourself in that position? Oh, anyways, let's see. I think we just kind of covered that, so I'm gonna skip over this one. Oh yeah, approval ratings. Approval ratings. Let's see. We don't have a whole bunch in this category now. I got some more. Did you say you said some more, Shelly?
Not so much good news, but there was one cute thing about the horse with the dude, but that's more for the cute videos or whatever, funny videos. But yeah, we're having an issue in Canada right now. Apparently, they're booing whenever we sing the national anthem, our national anthem. And there's a hockey game going on right now, USA versus Canada, and they can't stop fighting.
The hockey players can't stop?
Yep. They're getting into it because people from the stands are booing the American national anthem, and it's like, oh, come on. Like, I love my Canuckies. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
I love my Canuckies. Y'all better love me back.
You're out there. Suzanne, are you still with us? We need some Canadian input. We need some Canadian input.
Be careful how you say that. Suzanne, are you with us? You might summon a different one.
How many are there?
Yes, it's my very spiritualist time of the month.
What other Suzannes are? I only know one Suzanne now. I'm down to one Suzanne.
You're down to one Suzanne? I think I am too.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I am.
Well, if she's here, I want to know if she has any input on that news. What is the sentiment towards the U.S.? Who are the detractors and why? And all that stuff. I mean, you think that after all that Trudeau has put you guys through, most Canadians will be ready to get on board with reformation, reforming and draining their own swamp. Canada doesn't have a swamp; it has like ice lakes. So drain the ice lake. But I think that I'm shocked to hear. I guess there are a lot of leftists, a lot of drug addicts, a lot of people that are kind of like, I guess, really comfortable with the way things are there. They want their addiction will take you way, way far into the hands of the establishment. That's for true. Because if they're getting free drugs all the time and they're like, oh my God, that might go away and I'm an addict, then yeah, they're gonna fight against it.
Well, we don't know what their media is telling them either, how they're spinning it and how they're making us look. We just know what we're being told.
Yeah, so I was wondering what the propaganda is they're being fed about the U.S. That's what I'm trying to get to. Is like I'm from someone who's maybe we summon Scott Free Freedom. Usually when we say his name, he'll appear. So let's all put our try to get Scott out there. Everybody thinks Scott Free Freedom, and see if he shows up.
The Canadian and the U.S. side. Both Scots.
Yep, I want to see. I want some input on that. So if you guys see either one of them pop in, we'll stop and we'll have a chat about it. But some of the best news, friends from let's see, I always stood for the Canadians, as well as American anthems at hockey games. Friends from
Respectful.
Minnesota even know all the words. Yeah, why
Mhm.
not? We hear in Oz that U.S. wants to make Canada the 51st state. Yeah, that's been thrown around. It's not like wants to. It's kind of like been like you should want to. I think that's the way Trump's putting it. But we've been discussing the likelihood of that. I don't know. I think I think it's a great idea for the country of Canada. They should want to get on board. Which you guys have a real constitution. You'll be like, holy crap. But
I'm
and
sorry. Until that's a serious thing, I'm just gonna think that he said it as like a brain fart thought. And Trudeau got upset. He saw Trudeau got upset and said, and decided to run with it. Because he's a troll and he's never going to let it go. He's a ball
Yeah.
buster. So it's just like, that's how I take it right now. People are taking shit way too serious. Until something's on paper, I don't want to know nothing.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it.
And like the electoral college mess on that would be too much, I think. Like, how do you do that? It can't just be one state. You'd have to be 4 or 5. And then we got to put 5 more. And so we got a problem that's like we run out of stars on the flag. We have to have an even amount. We have to put 5 in at a time. So we got to go up to 10. That's the only way to make it even, so the flag will look right.
Well,
Otherwise, we got stars everywhere.
job.
You can't like have a star that's like one star by itself on a line all the way out there, because then everybody be like, what star is that, and why do they think they're special? See, we have to. It doesn't work like that here. So we have to have at least 5 come in at once, or none at all. So can't have one big Canadian star on there. That would indicate something that people wouldn't like. But anyways, yeah. So there we go.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah,
then
some
she
of
said,
the
why would the U.S. take on Canada's crap? I think he really just saw that it bothered him, and he really likes to be the burr under somebody's saddle. He really does. He gets a kick out of it, and I'm here for it.
I don't think we're messing around about Iceland or Greenland.
No, Greenland. I think Greenland is more strategic, but Canada is just to screw with Trudeau.
Yeah, but would it be a state or would it be a territory? It might be like Puerto Rico, Guam kind of thing.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, we haven't exactly been great to them either. So, like, meh.
We'll
So
see.
whatever.
We got a ways to go here. I'm sure that's not. We'll get there eventually. Just a negotiation tactic. Yeah. Art of the deal is in the house.
Yeah. He's the best troll. Oh my God. He loves it. And he
Yes,
has no
sir,
F's
Kenny.
left to give. He's like, I'm old. I'm in my 2nd term. It was like, what are you going to do to me? You already my mugshot is outside my office. Like, you already tried to have me put in jail for like the rest of my life. You've dragged my name through the mud. You've talked about my sex life, my finances, my children, my wives, my businesses, my hair, my gut, my tennis play, my golf play. They literally picked on every single thing about this man. He's like, what could you possibly throw at me now? Like, now I'm going to do what I want. Now it's payback time. So good for him. I'm enjoying it. I am loving the hell out of all of it. It's that northern aggression.
Yes, it is. Indeed.
Yes, it is.
All right. What you can't. What some of the best news of the week? Like I was saying, some of the best news of the week is the fact that Trump is breaking records. In terms of approval, check this out.
Absolutely amazing first several weeks from Donald Trump. So shocking indeed that CNN is losing their minds. Whoa. Good. Trump approval blows CNN's Harry Enton away after unpopular first term. Indeed, the Real Clear Politics average and even 538 have Trump swimmingly in his approval ratings. Now, this is a pre-record. I recorded this a few days ago, so maybe it will have changed by then. Who knows? But in the meantime, let me just tell you that even CNN is shocked to discover that Donald Trump is indeed popular. That's why last week at the Super Bowl, Taylor Swift got booed and Trump got cheered. Uh-oh. It says a network error caused the media download to fail.
So you're going to show us sort of where we're at now and how rare it is that this number
so
changed.
I want you to take a look at this plus sign, right? Compare that to the negative sign. Being on the plus side of the ledger, right? In positive net approval territory, a positive net approval rating for Donald Trump. Again, whoa. Entire first term, just 11 days, Donald Trump had a net positive approval rating. Compare that to the second term, just so far, every single day of Trump's second term so far, he has been on the positive side of the ledger. 21 days, all 3 weeks. That's already 10 more days than he was in his entire first term. So again, this is just another sign that Americans are far more likely to like what they're seeing in his second term than they were during his first term.
He also won the popular vote in his second term.
Indeed,
so it stands to reason that there would be more people that would approve of some of what he's doing. Is there something that Americans say about why it is that they like him now more than they did back in the first term?
You know, let's jump into that. I'm going to pause, Mr. Harrington, real quick. I'm going to show you Real Clear Politics. As of the beginning of the week, plus in aggregate 3.7. But get this, 538 actually has Trump's approval at 5.2. I couldn't believe it, because even when RCP would show Trump doing well in any capacity, 538 would always be underwater for Donald Trump. 5.2% approval from 538. Tremendous. But let me tell you. Now, I know he's going to mention a lot of things. Before he does, I want to say this. Trump warned y'all. Trump warned y'all and many others before him, but people didn't believe it. So in 2016, when they cemented his feet and dropped him into the water so that he could not do anything, they weighed him down. Largely, look, I'm going to be honest, Trump's own fault. He picked some bad people.
Yep. Well, he was green. He was new.
Boy, he's got some good people.
Bush.
A lot of people didn't like the idea of Rubio, but Rubio's turning out to be doing a pretty good job. Getting rid of the USAID woke stuff. I like it.
Rubio's the greaser he needs.
Rubio, and he was probably the easiest confirmation because everyone's like, yeah, because Rubio's going to shill for the deep
Hey,
state.
Bush.
I think Rubio's going to shill for the winners.
Yep.
Donald Trump warned you all about the border. He warned everybody about manufacturing, about China, and they didn't believe him. A lot of Americans believed the fake news in the corporate press.
Yeah.
And then they got 4 years of Joe Biden, and boy, did they learn their lesson.
Yeah, they did.
So now that people have been smacked in the face by the cold, harsh realities of what's been going on, maybe now they'll realize that what Trump is doing is what we need to be done. But take it away, Harry, CNN.
I think one of the things that's so important for politicians is for folks to believe what they're saying and that they're keeping their campaign promises.
Fair.
So I think this gives you a pretty gosh darn good idea of what may be going on. Trump's doing what he promised to do. You go back to April of 2017, it was just 46% of all Americans who said that Trump was doing what he promised to do. Compare that now to February of 2025. You know, there was a good show that was on during the 1990s called A Different World. That is what's going on right now. We're living in a different world.
Thank you, Kenny.
I want to,
looking forward to it.
This weekend.
Thank you.
I was hanging out at we were at Arundel Mills, I think that's how you pronounce it. And they got a mall there, and there's a casino and stuff. And I was at the casino, and they were playing True Faith by why am I forgetting the name of his band? Bizarre Love Triangle. How am I? Are you kidding me? I'm totally. Here we go. True Faith. Do you guys know that song by New Order? How did I forget New Order? How does that one go? That one's like, I used to think that the day would never come. I'd see the light in the shade of the morning sun. I love that song. Yo, that song's 40 years old. 40 years ago. And man.
Bitch, that ain't that long.
Bizarre Love Triangle. What an epic song. 40. Yeah, Blue Monday. Come on, let's go. New Order. 40 years ago. Imagine in the 90s. I don't know, many of you may be too young, too old, but I'm just imagining to grow up in the 90s and being like, we're going to put on some 1950s. It's like, we didn't really do that.
Inception.
We didn't really do that. 70s was considered classic and old. And that was only 20 years. Now we're looking at 40-year-old music. Here's why I bring this up. Y'all got to understand. When he's talking about Donald Trump in 2017, yo, that's 8 years. 8. That means a 10-year-old. Okay. Some kid is 10 years old in 2017 and they voted in 2024. That plays a significant role in what we are seeing. And people need to understand this. We need to be looking at the younger generation's trends because I don't think the boomers' opinion changes all that much. Gen X, a little bit, obviously. People in general have to wake up to this stuff. But I think what we're seeing here is younger generations are coming in. And we've seen data showing that Gen Z and Gen Alpha, not so much that Gen Alpha is voting or anything, but Gen Z, slightly more conservative than millennials in a lot of ways. And support for LGBTQ stuff, way down. Understand, we're talking about almost a decade. So there's a 15-year-old kid who doesn't know up from down when it comes to Trump or politics. But then 8 years later, he's in his early 20s and he votes. He votes for the president. And this is what you see. To be fair, you could argue he voted for Biden, but I really doubt he voted at all.
70% of Americans say Trump is doing what he promised to do. Again, compare that to April of 2017 when it's just 46%. When Americans are 24 points more likely to say that you're doing what you promised to do, it's no wonder that your net approval rating is much more likely to be on the positive side of the ledger than on the negative side. And so far, what we're seeing, again, is Americans 21 days so far versus just 11 days during his entire first term. Trump has a positive net approval rating. Quite a different world.
Totally. And
Triple
thank
day
you,
opinion.
because it's the same world with you every day. Lots of energy, no matter what.
But you know what he didn't tell you? He didn't tell you what those promises were. And we know why. It's because the promises were to deport criminals. And there are people out there. I saw this. There was this one viral post where some guy was like, my friend's a Democrat, lifelong Dem. And he posted something like, Trump is deporting murderers and rapists, and Democrats are acting like it's a bad thing. These people have lost their mind. I saw other posts where people were like, I've been a Democrat my whole life, and their treatment of RFK Jr. is absolutely psychotic. RFK Jr. was a Democrat trying to run on the Democrat ticket. And then as soon as he's like, I'm with Trump and we're going to make this country healthy, all of the Democrats unanimously opposed him. Here's a guy who went to these Democrats, RFK Jr., and said, we're going to get the chemicals out of our food. We're going to clean up the environment and make everybody healthy. And they're like, that's really good to me, says Bernie. But in the moment he's with Trump, no, now I oppose you. Screw off. We're not buying the lies anymore.
No.
Donald Trump is sending in Doge to clean up the bloat. And people are finding out that they're spending tens of thousands, millions, and billions of dollars on ridiculous garbage overseas. Meanwhile, we have homeless people and we don't have health care for a large portion of people in this country.
Paying for bullshit.
So you go to anyone, moderate, liberal, right now, and you say, you know, they're spending like $15 million on insert weird program. And they're going to be like,
that's right,
yeah, that's dumb. Hey, how about we do healthcare instead? And they're going to be like, I want healthcare. I want healthcare. Instead, Democrats are doubling down. And don't get me wrong, there are a lot of weirdos. A lot of weirdos.
Their new chancellor. We want waste. We want fraud. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Fraud. When do we want it? Now. It's like
Democrat voters were like, I like that we're spending $10 million overseas on gender study programs.
Yeah, they love it.
Okay. Well, I tell you this, the moderate liberal type, the moderate Democrat who actually isn't wrapped up in the cult and they voted for Democrats because they don't know much.
To that, can you point some of these people out? Because I don't think they really exist. I mean, what's left in that party for anybody who's like the way he's describing? I think he's still kind of hanging on to an old belief system here.
Part of that infamous they and everybody.
I mean, yeah, well, the imaginary ones he's talking about. I mean, when have you found a Democrat that didn't side with the establishment that isn't on its way to leaving it like completely and denouncing the name Democrat? I mean, we got some neocons that are heading back that way that are ready to become Democrats. I mean, there's those people. That's about it. I mean, I don't know what moderate Democrat he's talking about because there's no policies left on that side for anybody that's not completely hosed and smothered in corruption.
You go to them and say, how would you like to have health care
Yep,
and
that's
stop
mind control
spending
for
money
you.
on foreign countries? They're going to be like, yeah, you know,
That's
I
mind
guess.
control.
Probably makes sense, right? What if we said, hey, you know how we spent $500 billion on these overseas programs? And it's probably more than that. Hey, what if we just did healthcare instead? They'd be like, yeah. And you know, and the Democrats are going to say, you can't afford
it. See,
universal
if we
healthcare.
got rid of all the bullshit that was being spent the wrong way, you probably could have your health care. You probably could afford it. No wonder, you know, not that that would be the way to go, but it's like, you know, entirely. But we could certainly afford it if we weren't sending all this money off to other places to be laundered and given back to the corrupt establishment puppets and useful idiots you keep putting into power.
That much.
Not
Republicans
just
might
that.
agree, and I'll be like, yeah, but you.
Like, did you allegedly, supposedly, we don't have money for this country, but supposedly we're paying out like lifelong stipends to the families of the guys who bombed the World Trade Center, who drove the planes, who flew the planes into the World Trade Center. We're giving their families money, allegedly, for life.
Freaking that's
called the Martyr
weird.
Fund.
The Martyr Fund, really?
Mm-hmm.
Who came up with that?
But we can't take care of ours, but we're going to take care of the people who attack us, who don't even live here.
Meanwhile, everyday people here are struggling to pay their bills.
$2.7 trillion to Medicare and Medicaid people overseas, not here. Because I pay for my Medicare. They take that money away from me every month. Why are we spending $2.7 trillion overseas on other people's healthcare? We don't even pay for our healthcare here.
I mean, I'm at the point now where I think every time I hear that what that number is just a percentage of maybe what lands into that whatever as cover, and the rest of it is just laundered back. Like, I'm pretty sure this is just a big laundering operation. I don't really, when I hear about these programs, because I mean, first of all, oh look, we got money. We're gonna install this American program of gender studies into this Muslim country or something, and that doesn't go over. Where are they gonna do that at? What do they put? What do they put that at that doesn't get bombed the next day?
Well, see, that's the thing. They could be doing that to stoke division over there, so that there's constant unrest. So that even when there is a possibly peaceful day, somebody will say, "Oh, you know what they're doing down at the mosque? They're doing this kind of a class." Oh, hell no! And that starts a whole thing. This way, they got to keep the fire going.
There's people who actually take what their religion seriously. They wouldn't let that shit come in the door, not for any amount of money.
That's what I'm saying, though.
They'll take the money and they'll say, "Oh, yeah, we'll do it," and they don't do it. But I think that part of that, okay, look, I'm going to give you this money. It's going to be under the name of this, right? You accept it, and then you kick it back through this thing to me, or through these people, or what I want you to do is funnel it this way. I think we're going to find out that a lot of these things came with instructions. And then we're going to find this big money laundering operation underneath it all. I think there's more layers to this onion to be peeled back. While on its surface, it's still appalling, right? On its surface, it's still highly criminal. It's an abuse. It's financial abuse, as Elon said in the White House Oval Office, and which I've been saying for a long time. It's financial abuse, part of the cycle of abuse, and they are and you know. How we're supposed to just take it on the chin and say, okay, that's all right. Oh, really? Really? You know, and we're supposed to think like it's our fault that these people went in there and abused everybody's trust and did this with their money. No, you owe us. That's the way I see it. But anyways, whatever this thing is, I think that we're going to find out that there's money laundering behind a lot of it.
You can't afford basic stuff. See, I'm a fan of the idea of universal basic health care. What that means is if you break an arm, they'll set it for you and they're not going to bill you because there's some subsidy there. Obviously, more advanced diseases, things we don't have cures for, you can't do. But we can't have people dying of the flu, man. And there's stories of kids dying with the flu. That's not a good thing. Insulin's got to get cheaper. Unfortunately, for all of us and for all of you and all the libs, we're not going to get anywhere near that so long as we're dumping money on these garbage programs for no reason. So why don't we start here? Why don't we start negotiating? How about Democrats come up and say, okay, let's end USAID and all of this slush fund spending, and we'll do healthcare instead. Republicans are going to be like, okay, let's figure something out. I'm sure the pharmaceutical companies would love it, like they love Bernie. But you know,
yeah, man, I don't know if I have that or not. Do I have that in the list? But if not, we'll see it soon. We are going to finally get our wish and get pharmaceutical ads off television.
Yep.
Right? Didn't you tell me that, Shelly?
Yes, I did. Mm-hmm.
You did.
He said that's one of the first things he's going to tackle because it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, guys. I mean, talk about a big change we're going to be able to see when all those commercials go away. What's going to take their place? What do you think it's going to be? I mean, but they're going to be gone. We'll never have to see them again. Like most people here have never seen a cigarette commercial, right? Those are taken off the airs a long time ago.
Yeah.
Most people haven't, you know. But man, it's like everybody's growing up with pharmaceutical ads. It's like, we'll be like, whoa. But you know, most of us grew up without them. You know, so we were growing up, we had toy ads, car ads,
loads of shampoo ads.
Yeah, products. Like just normal products.
Actual things that you go to the store and buy. Yeah.
Food, all that
We
stuff,
had
man.
iconic commercials.
Local commercials.
Don't forget, I mean, the flip side of that, he wants to remove, all those ads, which I'm totally for. But think about what the NFL did, that the NFL canceled Elon's Doge ads during the Super Bowl. Did you know they did that?
Yes.
So I'm sorry, that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. Because I was looking forward to seeing those. And I was like, oh my God, I watched this whole Super Bowl. How did I miss them?
That must have been one. I didn't see the Secret Service ad either.
Nope.
We had to go look it up later on.
Mm-hmm. But we were promised those ads and we didn't get them.
Yep. That's fine. I mean, I'd rather if you're gonna do that, and we're cancel your pharmaceutical ads. Most of the mainstream media is powered by pharmaceutical ads.
Mm-hmm.
You know, most of them are. And can you imagine there's going to be all gone? One day we'll just we'll go out, we'll wake up and they'll all be gone.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be so awesome.
I tell you this, CNN's still not telling you what Trump promised to do. And people like what he's doing. That's what they approve. And that is deporting the criminals. Step 1. Gutting the bloat, the waste, the fraud, and the abuse. Step 2. I look forward to seeing what he does next. Smash that like button. Share the show with everyone. Become a member at timcast.com.
Okay. Let's see. I got is that all of these? Oh yeah. The guy that was swatting everybody, Tim Pool, Jeremy, and he did a bunch of nasty stuff. He got sentenced. Not enough time in my opinion, but he got sentenced. So I just read that one off. Oh yeah, I've been saving this one for you guys. This will be the last of the videos from the list, I think. Let me see. Okay. Wow, this goes back a minute because I saved these week by week, and then I'm like, well, I haven't done it in weeks, so I got a bunch of like old ones in here. But this one, guys, remember that woke bishop? And I haven't seen this all the way, but evidently, and this is, thank God this got his quick videos. Evidently, this woke bishop is in a little bit of trouble. Let's see exactly how much trouble the woke bishop is in.
When you pronounce it, I hear bitch up.
Bitch up. The bitch. And say it. Isn't that how you say it? Say bitch up. The bishop.
The woke bishop, even though she is definitely not an actual bishop, who scolded Trump the day after the inauguration at this absolutely ridiculous prayer event, just got exposed in an absolutely insane way. And this is absolutely hilarious to see her entire world now come crumbling down as the truth has now been exposed about who she is and why she decided to scold Trump on that day. It shows that all of these people that are very angry at Trump are all just corrupt, horrible individuals. And this person is no exception to that. We are seeing that really in full effect right now with Elon Musk and his Doge operations and how they are auditing the government. And now the government are trying to block him from knowing what is actually going on with your money and my money. All right. Our taxpayer dollars. They're trying to hide things. And that is very, very shady, if you ask me. The wolf in sheep's clothing, the false prophet here at the National Cathedral, just asked Trump to protect trans children and not deport the illegals. She completely politicized the prayer event. Absolutely disgusting behavior. So if you guys do not remember, this is what she said to Trump.
There are
What's up, Dangerous Waves? How you
gay,
doing?
lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families. Some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meat packing plants,
Take over
who
our
wash the
apartment
dishes
complexes.
after we eat in
Awesome.
restaurants and work the night
Yeah.
shifts in hospitals. They may not be citizens or have the proper documentation, but the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals.
We're not going to continue that. But now, remember the woke bishop who scolded Trump? Turns out her ministry got $53 million of your tax money to resettle illegals.
What? Holy shit. Did you guys hear about this? Oh my goodness gracious. $53 million. Again, why should anybody have to pay federal income tax? I don't see how any of us should have to pay it. Probably for many years to come. At least the next 4 years. Just go ahead.
It's
and
amazing
stop
that they're giving money to religious organizations, yet religious organizations exist tax-free outside the United States tax system.
Right? I'm not shocked. You guys. Oh,
So how are they getting our tax money, but they don't ever contribute?
Is this guy your brother, man? You guys look kind of similar. I'm looking at your avatar here. I know that's you did that with AI, but you guys look like you could be cousins, maybe. But yeah, right. I'm not shocked either, but it's like, oh, what a shock. Yeah, you knew there was some kind of agenda behind that speech. Like it wasn't coming from the heart. I knew that when I heard it. I knew that for sure when I heard it. I was like, yeah, they're definitely in on it somehow. And you're probably right there. The documentary Line in the Sand. I'm trying to think of the documentary. Yeah, Line in the Sand exposed like there's a lot of different religious charities, quote unquote religious charities, right? Quote unquote religiously named charities that were involved in the trafficking of minors. So no doubt. And it's hilarious that they have the goal to get up there and to try to lecture the president and the vice president the day after the inauguration on these matters. Like it was going to change his mind. Oh, I went and I saw this lesbian bishop and it really changed my mind. Yeah, right.
Said nobody ever.
Said nobody ever, right?
Suddenly, the truth makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Why she would not want Trump to deport illegals. Because she was benefiting from it. It's a business for her. Like, this is absolutely insane. Breaking, it has been uncovered that Bishop Marianne Budd's Episcopal Migration Ministries collected $53 million from government programs.
Hey, make her pay it back.
You realize
in 2023 for immigrant resettlement. $53 million. So Trump is actually hurting her business. It's all starting to make sense now. And look at that face, man. This woman is having a very, very rough time right now. And she's being exposed as a fake and a fraud. And that's exactly what she is. Follow the money. It always leads to the truth. Bishop Marianne Budd's Episcopal Migration Ministries making millions off immigrant resettlement. No wonder she's against Trump. He's cutting into her profits. Looks like another case of so-called nonprofit getting rich off
$53 million not
programs.
enough for you?
Time to drain this.
$53 million not enough. Again, what do you spend $53 million on? Like, how are you spending that money? But that's a lot of money. That kind of money that can last a lifetime for somebody. That's a lot of money. So again, I think that there's behind all those big, huge, extraordinary donations or funding numbers is a percentage. You get a little cut and you pass it this way. You get a little cut and you pass it to all these people. I really think it's some kind of like money laundering pyramid scam. I really do. I think we're just at the tip of the iceberg on this stuff. Because if you guys, come on, let let me get in here a little bit closer. Come on, you guys, think about it, man. Do these numbers make sense? The thing about it is we hear these numbers, we're appalled by them, right? It's wasteful. It's a lot of money. It's more money than probably anybody here. Has anybody here got that much money? If you would just please identify yourself. If you've got if you got several million in the bank right now, you can just let me know by sending a super chat. But I'm working on the grifting. But I mean, dude, that's these numbers blow us away, right? Because we hear that number, and we're like, man, what I would do with $53 million, right? And your mind's taken away when you hear that number. But then you think about what it's exactly for. Like some things, maybe it takes $12 million to make an Iraqi Sesame Street to teach wokeness to Iraqi kids. I don't know. I mean, that kind of money for production maybe sounds right because I'm conditioned to those big numbers for productions, right?
Not at a time when YouTubers are doing it free.
There's that. But I mean, maybe it's got some special effects or something. I don't know. Maybe they got to pay for copyrights or some shit. I have no idea. That I could buy into a little bit more than $53 million to an immigrant resettlement. That's money laundering because what are you paying these people to do? Right? What are you paying them to do? And we know a lot of these people were like, driving buses and housing them at facilities and then driving them off. But at the same time, we also know that a lot of these people that were in the middlemen were getting paid per kid. So that's why they were trying to shuffle them out so fast. Again, line in the sand, it's behind Tucker Carlson's gas paywall. But if you can see it, man, go watch it. It tells you, it fills in so many gaps about what's going on with the border crisis and the especially the human trafficking that's going on our side of the border. Like once they get here, that and it's $1 billion business where you got security guards making $150,000 a year to go to guard a place, basically buying them their souls. People that are driving buses getting paid $150,000 to drive buses. That's absurd amount of money to do those jobs. Absurd. That's not the normal pay scale for those jobs. So they're obviously being paid to be quiet too. They're getting bought out. Well, that's going on everywhere, every state. Arby, what's up? Hey, how's it going? Sorry I couldn't make your show today. I slept through it. I was up late, and Saturday sometimes I kind of catch up on my rest, and before I knew it, it was late afternoon. I apologize. I was trying to be there. But weekends, it all catches up with me. See, she looks like Malcolm McDowell in Caligula. Yeah.
And Caligula. Yeah, sure does.
That's right. Good catch on that one.
Put a bowler hat on her and it's Clockwork Orange.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I appreciate that.
Good, I'm glad you feel that way because I was asleep. And then the house was on fire. So,
yeah.
Little melodramatic, little hyperbolic, but I mean, there was a fire.
Let's let this guy finish up here. We'll come back.
Swamp and cut off these corrupt organizations. Trump is doing what's best for America, not lining the pockets of wealthy elites like Bishop, Marion, and Bud. And that is exactly correct. That is why so many corrupt elites are very angry at Trump. It's unclear who approved Marion Budd to attack Trump with lies on his second day of office, but it might have been the same people who approved $53 million of taxpayer funds from several government programs to go to her organization. And to make matters worse, those funds were reportedly used to resettle 3,600 immigrants. 3,600 immigrants. So while the left pretends that
that math doesn't work out right either. Huh?
She looks like Gollum.
That math doesn't work out right either. It's like
no.
3,000 by 53 million. How much per?
It shouldn't matter.
No, I'm just saying.
Listen, the history of the
cover
church
story's
is
right.
The history of the church is they grant sanctuary. It's holy ground. Even like royal families all across Europe would not enter a church, so they could give sanctuary to those who went like into their church and crossed the threshold. They had to stay there though. but nobody could go in and get them. They couldn't drag them out. They couldn't harm them when they were in there. That was the thing. But the church took
And
those
Highlanders couldn't
people
take heads
on.
in there either. Yeah.
That's right. But I'm being dead serious. The church was responsible for whoever they gave sanctuary to, whatever refugee, like criminal, religious, whatever. They were responsible. The royalty was not beholden to pay them to take care of that person. If they're granting sanctuary to illegals, right, which apparently is still their want to do, why are we giving them money for it? That's not our obligation. That's their obligation because they chose to take that on. That's the thing. They're accountable for taking care of those people. So why are they getting any money in regards to that when they're avidly breaking a law, our law, but they're keeping to their own law? You get what I'm saying? It's their choice. They can turn them away or they can keep them. But if they keep them, they got to pay the bill. They got to foot the bill. That's how it's always been. And this last administration changed that. Then if you're going to change that, then you better change the tax bills and go after every single one of those churches and make them taxable. Have them tell you what their assets are, how much property they have, and everything else. Because it's ridiculous. You can't give on one and then go, oh, no, it's all right. That's not a checks and balance. That's an uneven distribution of influence. So, no. I'm sorry. I have a very big problem with them giving any money at all to these organizations, these religious organizations.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
But I knew you might not know the church background on sanctuary and obligation.
Well, thank you.
So.
Thank you for informing the crowd as well. Yeah, I mean, can you imagine just waking up? I guess we don't have any millionaires in the crowd. I didn't see anybody on that.
If we have millionaires in the crowd, you need a super chat.
Is anybody a millionaire here? Just go ahead and dust up. I want to be your friend.
Oh
no. But yeah, can you imagine just waking up one day and just looking at your bank account and you got like all these millions in there? Like, whoa. Yeah, what's her name? Old Episcopal, what's her name? Mary or something?
I don't know. All I know is if I woke up and found millions in my bank account, I would instantly look outside my window to see where the SWAT team is because I'm being set up. There's no way that's coming to me.
They're invading our privacy. We don't know what they have on us. I bet you do. You don't know. We don't know how much they have on us of all the shit we've done, right? Yeah. Let's see. RB says, I've said this before, but I love the community you've built of people that want to be more critical thinking and accepting as compared to some that are just about ego and views. Tips hat. Thank you, RB. I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you so much.
So sweet. Apparently you have a former YouTube friend, like now a former friend. That happens when you start creating. You'll see. It won't stop.
What is that? What are you talking about?
If you go back, he said that where is it? Damn it. Yeah, he said yeah. God, I would have been here earlier, but was dealing with the fallout from pissing off a now former YouTube friend. Yeah, that's gonna happen.
That happens.
Happens a lot.
Yeah.
Happens a lot.
Let's see. She hasn't been seen since those comments. I bet she'd be like, I'm out of here, man. I'm taking my grift money and getting the fuck out of here is what I'm doing. See, the church organizations involved in the immigration trafficking for money are symbolically voting for Barabbas. Most of the Congress is afraid of Doge because they are losing their money trains. That's right. They sure are. And they're hating it, and it's going to get worse. And they know once that happens, they're powerless too. They're starting to people are like, no, right, go ahead, cry me a river, millionaire. I love all the posts are coming out about like what these politicians are worth and how much they make. Like, those have been coming out for a long time, but now they're actually starting to, they're hitting now because people are double dose. They're being like, oh, we're hearing about all this corruption. How much money for what? Even if you're behind the program itself, like I said, the amounts start to hit you in the face when you stop and think about them. But then you follow that up with everybody who's not addressing the ways the way they should be, right? At least from the establishment side, right? And then you see their salaries and their net worth come out on top of that. See, it's boom, 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 boom. Eventually, it's going to break through that mind control. So of some of the people that have been under the influence of the establishment narrative mind control, right? It's going to start to make cracks in that system as cognitive dissonance starts to pound away at it, and it'll erode the trust enough that we're going to have a lot more moments of clarity arriving. Another little wave of awakening coming up for people that are going to be shocked awake by these numbers and shocked awake by the responses that they're getting. And they're not going to want to just go along with the same old thing. It's going to be the ones that are the most damaged that are going to cling for dear life to it, that have already made major life mistakes and commitments to this alternative establishment mold, and they're the ones that are going to be clinging to it for bitter identity in life. And for the other parts, for the rest of them that are kind of middle of the road, I guess people that Tim are pretending are still out there, they may be like, yeah, I don't want to be associated with this anymore, and
you think about it,
tap out, or they'll come on over to the good guy team. Go ahead.
I was thinking about it the other day, like why they're pushing so bad, trying like hell to not let Cash move ahead, right?
Oh yeah,
he completes the assembly line. Like there's two starters at the assembly line. You got Elon with Doge, and you have RFK Jr. with Maha, and then they discover the things, they pass it on to DOJ or what, well, to FBI or whatever, to be investigated. He actually gets the real information, passes it on to Bondi at the DOJ, and they also have Noam, working, getting her investigations going and everything. And it's just boom, boom, boom. And there's no buffer anymore. There's nobody to do the catch-all and go, oh, this almost got through, but don't worry, I got your back. Nobody's got nobody's back. It's no, we want it seen, we want to know, we want it dealt with. And now it's just it's like the old Ford factory. It's just all in one. Everybody's working together. There's no kinks in the plan, and it's a steady stream. And I think that's what we're seeing the beginnings of, and it's just going to get better. When they catch their groove, forget it. It's just going to be, they got to get the judges that are being ridiculous taken care of. They got to settle that.
They'll expose themselves on that.
Yeah, and the Supreme Court needs to step up and have some balls and say, no, that's not how our Constitution was written. Like, no, you can't do that. So I think once we get like a couple of these like little naysayers and gnats out of the way, it's a clear assembly line all the way through. Boom, 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 boom. So hopefully, because things are running really quickly. Like you and I have talked about it and said it feels like we're on super speed.
Oh yeah.
Because none of us
they're hitting at the root, man.
Make this big. Yeah, none of us thought it was going to be this big of a difference this quickly.
Yeah, he didn't mention anything about going after USAID and what was going on there. They kept that really nice and tight, didn't they?
They gave him no time. They gave them no time to cover their asses, which is great.
Yeah, they played, dude. That's even more inspiring, actually, to know that they're that far strategically ahead of the game. I mean, we got the Trump 2.0 that we were praying for coming in. Like I said, coming into this before he even announced it again, I was like, I need to see Trump 2.0. I can't have a repeat of 2016. He needs to show me that he's learned from his mistakes and that he's ready with something new and ready to kick some butt. And he did that right away, just like he did, right away, showing me that he was the true, real anti-establishment candidate coming out in 2016, coming right after the mainstream media, hitting the root cause issues, hitting the root cause, the root methodologies they use to subvert people, like the things that we point out here all the time, like how they keep people boxed into these narratives through that mainstream media apparatus. Him calling it out sold me right away. I was like, this is the new champion of the anti-establishment. Let's go. And now here we are with Trump 2.0, proving again that not only is he's exceeded my expectations, and you gotta love that about somebody, it totally exceeded my expectations on this. So let's keep it going.
You have high expectations.
Rock and roll, I do. Gundam Zig, what's up? How you doing? with 53 million. Think even I could find a woman to talk dirty to me.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
do
pretty
it.
sure
Mud,
53
concrete,
million.
dust,
Sure.
garbage, trash. There you go. I talked dirty to you.
Oh man.
And I did it for free. There you go.
Let's see. Okay, let's finish this up. We'll be done.
They
We'll
are the
go to X for a minute.
compassionate ones for defending open borders. That could not be further from the truth. These policies hurt Americans, and the destruction it causes is unfathomable. So while she profits off policies that contributed to the taking the life of Laken Riley, she tries to paint herself as the savior of the world while advocating for some of the most satanic causes. The Bible warns of people like her for a reason, and it could not be more evident where she stands. I mean, we kind of knew this. Like, it's pretty obvious. She's not even supposed to be in this position as a bishop. So right from the get-go, it's clear that she is a fake and a fraud. And once again, she has been exposed in a major way.
And exposed in a major way. Thanks, dude, for that. I appreciate it. How the hell did she even get that gig in the first place? Who set that up? I bet I would have, there's no fallout from that service. Like, how did they get put in front of this person? Like, I don't understand who arranged that, and whoever did should be, I hope they're already gone. So.
I hope they were fired. Yeah.
They had to be. There's no way you could make a mistake that big and last night. They're expecting a lot more due diligence.
Did you hear her prejudice come through though? Like, about not even the prejudice or what he did or whatever. When she was talking about the illegals, she was like, who's going to pick our crops, and who's going to like work in like the jobs that she was saying. I was like, oh my God, that is so prejudiced the way you said that. Like, how she literally just stereotyped them right then and there. Like, what are we going to do without these people? You're taking this out. Really, lady? You think that every illegal that came here, they're just going to pick fruit? Like, they're only going to work outside Home Depot? Like, this is what she said in her speech in front of the president. Like, what are we going to do with that? Really? Wow. Your racism is showing. I can't call it racism because it's not, but they don't make a word that I could think of right now.
We'll work on it. We'll get it for you. We'll find that word. Check this out. Levy sent me this. Republican Mary Miller introduced Congressman Tim McBride, a man pretending to be a woman, as Gentleman Mr. McBride. Holy base. Make-believe time is over. Let's enjoy this together.
The chair recognizes the gentleman from Delaware. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Delaware, Mr. McBride, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. When I was elected,
Nice. No more play. Who's gonna pick the crops? Work at hotels. How about the 90% of applicants who are Americans who are passed up? How about that? Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's a good point. It's a really good point.
Let's do that. There, a lot of kids can get their start.
Thank you, Thomas.
Different industries by these kind of jobs. And by the way, who's gonna pick the crops? Robots. I've already shown those robots and how well they're working already, and how to do a better job, and one-time investment, pretty much, and a little bit of upkeep, a lot cheaper. And they do a really good job. They don't bruise the fruit. They don't steal the fruit. They don't eat the fruit. They don't pick bad fruit just to make their number. There's just, I think that it's one of those things. That's why I said I don't think we're going to have an employment or a population issue or whatever in the future. And I think a lot of these jobs that somebody like that bishop might think go to traditionally to migrants or whoever are going to be non-existent in the future. So
yeah, but there are also a lot of special needs and everything out there who need jobs. These are jobs that they can do. A lot of them are, something to give them a sense of accomplishment. What I don't get is they're like, oh, you can't put special needs. You can't offer it to them because that's, you're taking advantage of their, disability. No, actually, they're outside. They're getting exercise. They're learning a skill. They're getting a sense of, self-worth. They're earning a living for themselves. Even if it's like not that much, the sense of just getting your own kind of money that the government's not giving you as a handout or whatever, that builds your self-confidence. It builds their belief in themselves. It makes them feel better about them. It improves their mental health, their emotional health. It goes through all of that. But they're like, oh, you can't do that. Okay, so what? Putting them like on the side, handing them a check and never teaching them anything, never giving them any responsibilities, what? Treating them like children. That's better? Really? I saw a commercial with a little girl with Down syndrome. And it really, I cried the whole freaking time because she said, it was this whole thing. She said, I went to my parents and my parents are afraid that I can't live alone. So they've never taught me how to live on my own. My teacher doesn't think that I can learn about Shakespeare. So she never taught me Shakespeare. So I didn't learn Shakespeare. You know, my parents didn't teach me this skill because they didn't think that I could learn it. So they didn't teach it. So I never learned it. And then she said, but what if it was different? What if they thought, well, let's teach her basically and see if she could do it. So if you teach me the skill, maybe I can do it. But at least, you know, she's trying. If you teach me Shakespeare, maybe, you know, she doesn't get it completely, but still you taught it to her and now she knows it. Maybe she gets it, maybe she doesn't. But that's on her. Nobody's making that decision about her abilities for her. They're giving her the opportunity to be the best, to reach her full potential. They're not saying, oh, well, you're this, so obviously you can't do that. You don't know. You don't know until you try. And that was the whole point of the thing. But that's where we've gotten. We look at people, we give them a label, we throw some letters on them, and we go, okay, so now you're responsible for this. You should be able to do this, but I'm not going to even bother to teach you any of this stuff because what's the point? You basically write that person's potential off, and you're limiting them. You're taking away from the community and everything around them at the same time. It's really sad. We really need a different mindset in how to do things. Like, just because somebody you think they can't do it doesn't mean they're not capable. Give them a shot. Give them the skills and see what they do.
Do it. We got so many more things will open up now in the coming future. Now check this out. Is I guess is AMP33 still here? Well, it's Australia, but I know New Zealand's right close to it, and I know they're not the same. So I'm just going to put that out there right now. But guess what's happening in New Zealand? It needs to help. Like New Zealand is has been a very locked down woke place for a long time, right? And I'm pretty sure, like most places, it's not by the general populace's desires, right? Well, remember we saw that lady not too long ago in a parliament do that crazy dance, you know, where she's sticking her tongue out and shouting and shaking her hands, right? And then people informed me, I was like, I don't know what I'm seeing here. And people are like, oh, that's a traditional native war dance, right? Or something like that. Well, you're about to see it again. Check this out. This is what the men in New Zealand are doing to push back on the wokeness, woke oppression they've been under for so long. The new generation is rising up and saying, enough of that. Get ready to shake, rattle, and roll. Look at Rainbow Parade. You got drag queens all over the place. Not a lot of people out there to see it, but they've gone ahead and intruded on their space by putting up these barriers and shutting down the street, obstructing their daily lives for this marketing and PR stunt called a Pride Parade. And these guys are like, nope, here comes the war cry. And people who don't understand what they're seeing right here is like, yeah, they looked ridiculous in Parliament, but this is like, you know, if you got this, like, it goes back like centuries, right? This is an old war dance, haka, is that what it's called, the haka? You know, so these people, they're showing, you know, you're supposed to look fierce and crazy, and like, you know, we're getting ready to, you're coming at us, so we're getting ready to tear you limb from limb. as you invade our territory. Like, I think that's what it's supposed to be about, because, you know, the expressions of these guys, the wide eyes, the wide tongue, the tongue sticking out far, the screaming, the shaking, the pounding, very very primitive. Yeah, it's very, I know, Shelly. Very primitive.
I didn't
Very
say
primitive.
that.
You didn't have to. I don't know how this ends. I don't know how this
That
ends.
one dude,
But
the one dude looked like this is like Jacob Fatu.
yeah. I mean, but they're serious. They mean business when they start pulling this shit out, you know.
Oh yeah.
Anyways,
They're
I don't know
going
how that all
primal.
turned out, but they made their presence felt, and I think that probably rallied a lot of folks there. Anyways, what's the new version of USAID going to be? USNOT. I want to apply for a $10 million grant so that I can do the Haka all and the Pride. Yeah, I want that too. Yeah, what's the new version going to be? How can I get some money to stand up to the bullshit? Yes.
Where can I get $10 million to do the Haka tour? Because
right,
I'll do it. It's fine.
Atta girl. See, okay, Jacob Castro, what's up? Looks like a bunch of savages. That's right. Let's see, I swear I'll use the money to fly those Mars here. Yeah. Do it. Anyways, I thought you guys would enjoy that little bit of more good news on X. Yeah. I don't know what came of it, but yeah, there's a lady who introduced us all to it right there. But they really get into it. I really do appreciate the commitment, you know, and I don't think, even if you think it looks weird at first, then you look at it and you're like, these people like really learn this shit. Like they know it. They're like, oh yeah, this is how you do it. You get all crazy looking. Right. And I appreciate their commitment to excellence. There you go. Excellent. Here we go. What else we got on X the dot here?
World party time. Excellent. You know you set me off when you do that shit.
Oh yeah. Did someone come in here? Oh, Starlight, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hey, Starlight, how you doing, honey?
Welcome to the show.
iPhone doesn't take. Not on Rumble. Rumble is terrible for tagging on the phone.
Here we
Can't
go.
do anything on the phone.
Thomas brought this up earlier, and I had it on deck, so let's go ahead and watch it right now. Two nights ago, Rachel Maddow, Mr. Maddow, falsely reported that Trump had given Elon Musk a $400 million contract for armored Teslas. That's because Rachel Maddow is not a journalist. She's an actor who reads off a teleprompter and has ghostwriters write books for her.
She's to see you next Tuesday.
Yeah, she's see you next Tuesday. But you know, so did she come out? Did she apologize? Did she do anything? Let's see what happened here.
Oh, thank you, Starlight.
Prospective purchases in 2025 was a $400
It literally says it on this there. It says $20
million line item for, quote, armored Tesla production units. $400 million worth of armored Teslas.
What a dumbass you are. What a dumbass liar you are. I don't understand how anybody. Have you ever met anybody who's just like, I love her, Rachel Maddow. She's so great. I met a dwarf one time. I mean, I knew a dwarf one time. I punted the friendship. Let's put it that way. But literally punted the friendship. He's a little green Nazi, so I was like, you know, he's far left. He thinks the Democrat Party, because it helps. He said, well, they help disabled people and they help the less fortunate, and that's you know, it's because of them I got stuff. I was like, okay, but so you know, screw my kids, screw our future, screw everybody else, right?
Yeah,
but he
I
said
have
that
one of those too. So
that Rachel Maddow was a good journalist. So that's the only person I've ever met in my entire life was a deranged dwarf that thought Rachel Maddow was a good journalist. So there you take that for what it's worth, man. That's about her fan base right now.
Tell me more, edgelord of government efficiency.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
I take this nice and slow as she makes a fool out of herself. Lieutenant Castillo, how you doing? Good to
Hi,
see
honey.
you over there. I like the avatar with Hulk Hogan ripping the shirt off. Trouble lady is gonna run wild on you, brother. Yeah, make a fool out of yourself. Remember, this is the Russia hoax lady. This is the lady who convinced so many people that Trump was in cahoots with Putin. Well, how'd that turn out? I mean, where is it at? Show me how that
Last night, we reported on this fiscal year 2025 procurement prospectus from the U.S. State Department.
Does she even know what that means?
And it is dated December 2024 during the Biden administration. This is after the November election, but before Trump was sworn in. And we reported on this last night because the single most expensive line item in the whole prospectus for the State Department's prospective purchases in 2025 was a $400 million line item for, quote, armored Tesla production units.
Okay.
$400 million worth of armored Teslas.
Done by Biden.
How much money
for
did you
his
get from
stupid EV bullshit?
How much money did you get from USAID? I mean, this woman, I think,
no,
thinks her shit don't stink when it's really
I'm
just.
sorry, don't you see an Adam's
peel the
apple
wallpaper
there?
off. Y'all
Don't
want to
that look
see
like an Adam's apple?
how Camelot? Oh no way! Okay, Camelot. We got some breaking news from fellow creator Camelot. Oh,
Libby, did he really? Is he okay? I'm assuming he's okay, but is he okay?
yeah, it didn't come in. It didn't come in with. Yep, we'll play that coming up.
Madcore.
At least he made it to the race. Is Madcore here? Hey, Madcore, what's up?
Yeah,
no,
they
she
stole
tried to
his
cover it
trailer
up,
this
of
time.
course. Oh, you missed the New Zealand one. Did you see the? Well, I mean, I know it's not Australia, but it's close. The guys doing the
What are they
haka in the
called?
street against the Pride
Kiwis?
Parade. Did you see that, Madcore? Yeah, they're Kiwis. In New Zealand, did you happen to catch that? I see them post another BS line on the network. I'll send a screenshot to you. I just took. Oh, cool, awesome. Thank you guys. You guys make it happen, man. Yeah, I seen the haka. Did you see them doing the haka in the streets, like to hold up the pride that was going on? I'll send you that back. I'll say I got it somewhere. If I didn't close it, here it is.
Most people see that and they get scared. I see those kind of dances. I get fired up.
Yeah,
I love them.
Business, man. I mean,
Hell yeah.
business.
They think
Yeah, I
that's
hope you
scary.
enjoy
Go
that.
ahead, get a bunch of drunk Italians together. See what happens.
I'm ready to see some of this kind of stuff going down in Australia next, man. Because the Aussies aren't going to be putting up with this shit for much longer. They're not going to be putting up with this shit for much longer. Okay, let's let this. I think we're done here.
Start a new emu war.
Edgelord of government efficiency.
I can't wait to see what skeletons you got in your closet there, Mr. Maddell. Mr. Maddell. All right. Let's get to the next one. Let's see Camelot. Let's see Camelot. You said this is the Daytona. What is this?
He was in the Daytona, yeah.
Daytona. He made it to the Daytona. That's a big deal.
No, wait. Yeah, it's Daytona. I'm pretty sure it's Daytona.
All right. Let's
Trump
take
was
a
supposed
look.
to be there.
Trump was?
He said he was going to Daytona 500.
Did Cody Cody Camelot, did he vote for Trump? Because if not, this is probably why I wrecked. All right.
I think he did. He's
smart if he did. All right. Let's see. Yeah. Oh no, hold on. Am I gonna get pinged for this? Wait a minute. Okay, we're gonna try to do this right. 45-second clip. God damn it, NASCAR. Fox. That it wouldn't be Fox, it would be NASCAR that would totally try to
figure out which one he is first. So find his car.
What's his number?
First.
Well, I'm sure he's gonna be the one that's wrecked.
Yeah. But if you find it and we know which one to watch first,
we're gonna watch the one that wrecks.
You won't have to restart it.
Okay. We're gonna watch this one time.
Between every car. Oh, sideways.
You think that's him? With Dennison? What's his last name? Hold on, we got Dennison. Okay. Well, look at him. He was in the 8th place right there. I don't know what it. Let's see, what's he doing? What do you do here? All right.
Between every car.
Oh, he swerved to not hit somebody. Teal car. All right.
Oh, sideways into the wall.
Sideways. Oh.
Trying to get a number on that.
Cody
Dennison.
Cody Dennison. Oh man.
11,
Oh, Cody.
Sean Core, the 8, left side of your
I'm stopping it. Just
Holy
Cody's 51.
screen.
Catherine Legg in the 23 was hard into that inside
There's
wall
Elio.
right there.
Elio spinning the bottom of your screen. Thad
Thad
Moffitt.
Oh, Moffitt.
Sean Core.
Oh my
So
God.
surprised to see that this early when we just mentioned how much they
Clears
looked like
the
they were
field.
giving good.
Clears the field.
Yeah, just look for the one that
This is
says Tim K.
transformative content, NASCAR. Don't screw with me, man. I'm sick of you guys
Look for the one that
people
says Tim K.
using us creators who are just trying to deliver transformative content to our audiences. All right.
And the 11 just took off, got loose.
Highly
on turn 4 there.
transformative. Talking
I was
over
just
it.
about to mention Thad Moffitt. He's full time
Oh,
this
yeah,
year.
poor
And then
Moffitt.
Catherine Legg, such
What's up?
23.
an
23.
accomplished racer. Open wheel, sports
What happened
cars.
here?
her
They get
business
shown
model.
again?
A lot of really strong
Cody's
cars in this
51,
race.
huh?
This will change the dynamic.
Timcast.
Is that Cletus?
Well, hold on. Timcast. Did it say Timcast on there?
Yeah, on number 11. Right there. It says Timcast right on the back. See it?
Who's that?
Above
Oh, that's
the
Cody.
wheel well.
There it is. His name's right there on the
Mhm.
That's him.
Mhm.
He took
Number
Kate
11.
off of there. didn't
I
he
highly
used to-
doubt that's still on there. He used to have Ricada Law on his thing.
Ah,
Ricada
Look at
used to
that.
be a sponsor, but money.
how in the world did he get
So-
sponsored by Timcast? He's never even been on
Cletus?
Timcast, has he?
No, but Timcast he did his last couple
Between every car.
all
All
his
right.
races, I think.
This is how it happened. Look, did he get hit from rear-ended?
Oh,
or
side-
something? I don't know. We can't spend too much time more on it. See, huh? He came sliding in
Between every car.
sideways, and boom.
Oh,
And
sideways
boom,
into
boom.
the wall.
Ba-da-da-da-da-dum,
Trying to
ba-da-da-dum,
get a number.
ba-da-da-dum. All right.
Yep,
So
that's number
better
11.
luck next time, Codester. Better luck next time.
He's okay though, I hope.
He's number
I mean,
11.
It looked like it
He's-
looked like he
yeah.
didn't take any damage to the side, so most likely he's just banged up a little bit.
He's probably fine.
But he took out how many cars? That looked like he took out like 8 to 10 cars.
Hey,
It's like,
Gutter,
damn,
how you
that's-
doing? Good to see you.
Hey, Gutter. Hi, honey.
How you doing? How you doing out there?
Seen any
All right.
swallows
Well,
today?
thanks for that breaking news. Thanks for that breaking news, Libby. Or let's see.
That
okay,
was
and
awesome. Aw,
Madcore
poor
was sending me
Camelot.
something too over here. This is what I'm talking about. We're just like we're laid back on Saturday nights, man. Whatever you got, what
Yeah.
you got.
Especially since I haven't slept much and now I'm at the bottom of my can of C4. So it's going to be a fun night.
You don't have any more?
I don't need any more. This one can is going to be enough. I'm going to be at the wrong times.
Oh no.
Well, oh well. Rub a lamp.
Oh,
'Cause
well.
I'm all yours.
All right, probably some of the best news of the week, and then we'll probably I think we're getting into cool things here coming up.
Sweet.
But I did want to kind of just we can see. I'll go through my front page after this too. So let's go one to the next. Colin Rugg here says this is the good news. I think a lot of people heard this, but I just want us to kind of revisit it because that's what good news is about. You can't get enough of good news, right? You can't get enough of it, and we all love it. So let's take a look at this here, and then we'll listen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and boom, the new IRS expected to fire as many 15,000 employees as early as next week, according to ABC News. The development comes as unemployment spiked 36% in DC, thanks to Doge. And yeah, I saw some people in the tech world going, "Oh my god, companies are having layoffs since Doge, blah blah." It's like, which ones? The ones that were getting money from USAID? Well, goodbye. The potential cuts are coming just 1 month before the IRS begins accepting tax returns. IRS agents are not included in the federal buyout plan that others and federal workers receive, but they were told to expect a similar plan in April. The developments come as Trump's Commerce Secretary nominee, Howard Lutnick, has taunted abolishing the IRS. Let's listen to this.
At the start of the 20th century, America was the richest country on earth, and we defended our workers from unfair trade policies with tariffs. And we only made money. We had no income tax. All we did is charge other countries and foreign companies, if they wanted to sell to America, you had to pay for entry. Okay, so imagine this. The US government had no income tax. Americans got to keep all their hard-earned money, and foreigners paid the price. So now what's happened? We have the Internal Revenue Service. That means charge us internally. Now imagine politicians who can't even balance their own checkbook, taking our money, and what do they do every year? Let's just take more, let's just take more, let's
Now we know
just
what they're
take
doing
more.
with it.
So this is how Donald Trump is going to end it and fix it. Last week, he announced that we're going to return America to greatness by creating, and today is its birthday, the External Revenue Service.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Let's go.
External.
So if you're always wondering, is some bureaucrat going to cut your benefits? Not under Donald Trump. Not under Donald Trump. It means foreign companies are going to pay if they want to come and sell products to the wealthiest country on earth. And if they want to compete with American workers, then let's just not tax our American workers.
Well, there you go. And that makes sense. I mean, and I've been saying it. I'll keep saying it. I've always felt that way about federal income taxes. Like, well, we're paying for the corrupt establishment to misuse our money, right? Now, not even at that point, it was just about wars and things like that, and you know how they're doing what they're doing with that money, right? We didn't even know the corruption; we could only guess at it. Now we're getting to see full scale. That's exactly what it is, and it's worse than we ever thought, right? But I mean, you can't convince. I mean, look, if they owe you money, if they take money out and you're owed tax money, yeah, get your money back from these crooks. Next time, give them less, you know. But if you owe money or you're like, you know, anything like that, why should you have to pay income tax? Like, honestly, someone give me a good reason. Is there any one good reason that we should have to pay it, or that any payments that we made in the past or owed from the past should be should count? None of it has been used right. It's all been underhanded. It's been money. It's been laundered. It's been wasted. And most of us didn't vote for any of the shit that they used it on. You know, and even the people who did vote for them and consented to their leadership, they still probably didn't even know that's what the money was used for. I think a lot of them probably would have been like, that's probably not what I thought it was going to be for. Not to mention the interest on the debt and so on and so forth, right? All the bad deals, all the globalist agenda stuff, all the things that so many of us don't believe our money should go towards. Why should we pay for it? Right? There's no rhyme or reason for it at all. And then what do they do at the end of the year? They want more. They want more. They want to spend more. They want to get more. They want to do more. And they tell us it's because the price of things are going up. You know, the price of things go up because of the value of the dollar going down. You know. Yep. And it's because of their mishandling of our money and our funds and our country, and mishandling their power, that things are the way they are. So why, again, someone give me a good reason why income tax should be paid. Federal income tax should be paid now, then, or in the future. Like, you know, in fact, by the time they get through paying us back by not charging us taxes, right? They'll figure out some way to fund the country. In fact, guys, I was talking with this about Shelly. I think we're on the verge of seeing the end of income tax. I really do.
That'd
I
be
mean,
great.
because look, I'm trying to follow this to its logical conclusion, right? The logical conclusion is they have to provide remedy. Now that this has been exposed and out there, the consensus, the call, the rallying call for remedy is gonna come up. Once you've been ripped off, you've been caught, it's an official capacity. People are going to demand a remedy for the situation. You can't just give them money back. I heard the quartering say, "Yeah, give everybody $1,000 and see if they'll fuck that $1,000 bullshit." No, man, it's you don't give me money back for that. That doesn't cover the shit you did. You took energy, you took our labor, and the resulting of our labor is our salary, our benefit, our income, right? That's our labor transferred into something. Okay. You took that from us. You took our labor from us and you misused it and used it to abuse others, right? Including ourselves. You abused everybody with it. You misused it. You misused the trust and you misused your power. $1,000 doesn't cut it. Not for me, not for anybody else.
Nope.
Everybody deserves more than that. The only way you can pay it back is to stop charging us for that. Why should we have any confidence in paying into that system? I don't care who's in charge. Like, why should we have any confidence in paying into that system? And not to mention, you've already offended us. You've already committed an offense against us, not just once, but for decades. There's no substantial way to pay everybody back. The only thing you can do is offer a benefit going forward and as a remedy. And the benefit is taxes wiped out. No more. You're not paying. You don't have to pay any more taxes. Income taxes, state taxes are different things, right? State taxes aren't involved in this shit. If your state's misusing your funds, if they're doing it wrong, then they need to pay for it too. That's a state to state issue, right? I'm sure California is. The Californians probably, do they have state tax in California? I know in some places they don't have state tax, and that just means the prices are higher. But for those places that do have state tax and they've been misused, then the same remedy should fit, right? That's the only thing you can do. So that's why I feel like I'm trying to think of what other way could they remedy the situation with us, because they have to settle with us on this level. They have to settle with us, and I can't come up with anything else. So if there's something else, everybody gets a flying car or something, that'd be fine. But they tax everything in California. Okay, so there's a cause. There's a cause for the people in California to sue their state for mishandling it. And the wildfires, I think, are a great place to start for California.
Hell yeah.
But if you guys can think of any other remedies that they could possibly do to remedy the fact they've misused tax money for all this time, let me know. But I think the only thing they can do is wipe out debt and then forego any more taxing. And that means that this year, get your money back if they owe you money, get it back. Get it out of their pockets, right? Get it back for yourself, because they took it from you anyways. And then boom, W-2s rip, gone, right? No more of those, no more 199s, none of that shit, right? That's just gone. You don't file federal income tax. They don't take it out. And they'll still take out your Social Security, other things like that, right? The things that we need to keep paying into for whatever reason. But federal income tax, nope, they can't take it out anymore. And if you don't want them to take it out, just throw 10 dependents on there or some shit like that. Yeah. And they can't, right? And then, like, screw you. I'm not paying for freaking what's that, Ukraine war? Like, what's that one thing? Who sent this to me? I think Levy sent it to me. I just saw it just as another example, as another way to make the point. Let's listen to this guy who sadly looks a lot like somebody that we know, a little bit more rugged version of somebody we know. But when you first see it, when I first pull it up, it's going to hit you right in the face who I'm talking about. So I won't blow the surprise.
What?
This guy, I'm going to do it. Ready?
Okay.
Here it is.
All right.
Ready?
All right.
You would get the first one to say who it is. Okay, go.
That's Ricada? It looks like a
How
fat
much has the
Ricada.
U.S. spent on the Ukrainian war
Don't
to
it?
date in USD?
Approximately $175 billion.
5x that. What would it cost to house, educate, and feed all of the homeless and all of those that are in need, as well as job train, college
Terrible
degrees,
prompting.
or technical training, all Americans for 1 year?
Housing, $7.4 billion. Education and job training, $28 billion. Feeding the hungry, $33.1 billion.
What would it cost to provide an AR-15 for every military-age man in America?
Approximately $18.75 billion.
Subtract that from what we spent in the Ukrainian war. What's the balance?
$156.25 billion.
156 billion unspent remaining.
Yes, 156 billion remaining.
Thank you.
Looked
How
like
much has
Tucker Carlson and Ricada had a baby. Right, it does. It looks like he did a face blend of the two of them.
That's Fit Kata right there.
Fat Kata.
Fat Kata. Okay. Yeah, but how about that? That isn't Alexa or Google.
No.
Yeah, how about that though? I mean, just talking about like, okay, again, somebody tell me why we should ever have to pay income tax again. I think it's going away, guys. I really do. Remember, you heard it here first. I think it's going away. I think it's going away.
You know what I was thinking of?
The seventh seal will be broken when Ron Paul audits the Fed. So,
oh, that'd be great. That'd be great.
At that point, Jesus will return. Okay.
Right.
Right.
Never mind, because
they'll probably make that a national libertarian holiday if Ron Paul gets to audit the Fed. It'd make a dream come true. Make a movie about it. You know.
Yep.
How long has it been? We're at 7. We're at 8. 7, 17. It'd be 15 years in the making.
Oh.
16 years in the making. I'm trying to think of when he first started. He first ran. It was in 2007, 2008. Ron Paul. So that's 8 to 16 to 24. Yeah. Hell yeah. Hey, Dangerous Waves. Thank you for being here. Yeah, we hope you have a great night too. Hope to see you again. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with us, man. Great to meet you.
Yeah, thanks for coming by, honey.
Thanks for all these awesome, cool new people that are hanging out too, man. It's good to see you guys out here in the crowd. We got a great crowd here, man, and it's really easy to come here and hang out and feel welcome. And if you're based and you're chill, man, you're in the right spot. If you like the truth, and you're an evolving, intelligent person, you're in the right spot. You'll love this place, man. We have a good time, and we keep it based, we keep it real, and we hold the truth to the highest esteem. Ain't that right,
keep
Shell?
It real. Yes. And I just finished my C4, so I got to run to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
All right, and there she goes. Everyone wants to put a timer on that. Put a timer on it. Ooh. Okay, hold on. Let me get the next clip here ready. I think we got all the way through the good news clips. So let's roll back here. Yes, that's the one. Oh yeah. I tell you what, while she's doing that, I'll roll this back over to my front page, and I got some stuff on there that we can look at while she's running to the bathroom. All right. So here we go. Front page stuff. Okay. All right, here we go. Pay no attention to that guy right there. All right, here we go. That I'm just subscribed to Secretary Kennedy. Sorry. This new page there. Okay, now look at this. Talk about good news. Talk about an upgrade. They were questioning Kennedy's qualifications. How did that thing right there become the secretary? How did that happen? I don't get it. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's like the most unhealthy thing I've ever seen. Next to a healthy thing, right there. A healthy thing you've seen, right? A very healthy person next to a very unhealthy person. So I don't. Yeah, talk about a massive upgrade. That might be the upgrade of the year, or the upgrade of the decade, maybe even, right there. Just a reminder about Gen X. I think this is kind of fun.
These people just don't
up Gen X.
Wait, it's got Thunderstruck under it. I can't play it. But,
oh Lord, why do they do that?
Oh, I know. Here we go. Talk about Medicaid.
Her staff. To Doe just for a second. Earlier, the subcommittee headed by Chairman Marcia Taylor Greene, her and her staff discovered $2.7 trillion in improper payments Medicare, Medicaid, overseas to people who should not have gotten it. Some
I wonder who got that money.
of this room might have missed that press conference. Can you elaborate on what the president?
That's a lot of surgeries.
Well, again, that's another example. There's a very long list of the fraud, waste, and abuse that Doge is identifying on a daily basis. Elon Musk also talked about yesterday about Social Security payments that are going out the door for people who are no longer with us. Unfortunately, I would say that is certainly fraud. There's also a lot of contracts they've identified that, just as a hypothetical example, are $1 million, but only 500,000 went out the door. So where's the rest of that cash? And so that's the thing. Those are the things that Doge is working on every single day. And I would just remind everybody in this room, this is what President Trump campaigned on doing. He's delivering on a promise that
Yep, promises made. Promises.
Doge just for a second. Earlier.
Hold on, beep. Okay, there we go. What, we got business to take care of? I believe we do. Oh, that's my show.
Get down to business.
Oh yeah, we did that. We did all these. I feel like I had some other stuff on here. Maybe not. My chat. Hold on. I'll look there in 1 second. Oh gosh, career stuff. Career stuff. Oh yeah, I've been busy commenting back to I'm like now I'm into the there you go. There's my post on no income tax, hashtag gov tax fraud remedy. I'm already on it, guys. I told you I'd get on it. I'm on it already. But oh yeah, let's do this real quick.
Oh my!
Wolfram, my friend, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. You are now officially the sponsor of the stream. Oh, we didn't get to show Dangerous the super chat bid. Well, maybe they're still watching. But now you can at least send a clip. Now you can send a clip. There you go.
Wow, we're sharing the brain today.
Okay, so yeah, a bunch of my I'm now in the exposing UFO grift algorithm on X. So I'm meeting like-minded people and we're having a good time together, and I'm jumping in and making comments on posts. Thank God I'm out of the goddamn chemtrail one. And I'm trying to figure out how X works a little bit better. I have to see that guy every day. Look, it's more of them. You know, no, those are not what it is. You're just a seal. Oh no, not a shell. I got in the guys. I got into the Greer podcast the other night, like the live he did on X of his most recent catastrophic disclosure, right? And boy, I was lighting it up in those comments on X. I was like lighting it up.
He was having so much fun.
I was lighting them up.
Y'all
and
so proud.
The culties in there were like, they were calling me. They said I was working for the Skunk Works. Yep. They said I was working for the billionaires. That I was a billionaire. I was like, please go to my stream right now and take a look. Do I look like a billionaire to you? So if I was a billionaire, you wouldn't see
like
me,
at least
man.
$1 million to me, hon.
You're a sweetheart. The but he was like, you know, you're just a shill for the billionaire. He said something like that. You're just you're just like greedy. You work for greedy billionaires. I was like, well, you work for a greedy millionaire. Like, you know, I kept pointing out how much money Greer made and how much the tickets were and how much to his events and how much he had, you know, what his net worth was and all that stuff, man. And you know, trying to get through to him. And they just were like, they're totally locked down. Like they were watching, like they were a Democrat watching CNN, man. They were like, they're so brainwashed in that chat. But I was having a good time. And then there were some other folks in there pointing out.
Funny though, you were throwing out like all these like facts and like, you know, like debunking like this and going against the narrative. And he's like coming out with all this information and they're coming back. Well, you're just like, it was basically the equivalent of, well, let me tell you, and they're like, well, you're just a poopy head, because they had nothing back to say. They had nothing but name calling at their disposal. It's all they kept doing. I was like, aw. I was like, that's sad. But That's
He's
the
the
mentality.
sale of shoe on head. What does that mean? Is he like the armored skeptic? Is he like off the reservation or is he based? I mean, it's like, it's got a good gimmick. He's got a good gimmick. I mean, I've seen his stuff before. I can't remember where he lands though. I always thought he was somewhere in the middle of the road. But is he down with those, or is he one of those people who are like, what do we want? Waste. No, we want it now.
Now.
What do we want? Fraud. When do we want it? Now.
Now.
I get people protesting government efficiency is just hilarious to me. Yeah. When do we want corruption? When do we want it? Now.
Right. Well, here's the thing. Like we pay taxes, right? They claim the taxes are for other programs to help other people. Okay, but my tax dollars are going to other countries to go back to politicians. Why do I have fees then on almost all my bills, like utility, cable, cell phone, whatever, that I'm paying for people who can't afford the services that I'm paying for? Now I'm paying extra so they can afford it. Why am I paying for them if they have all these? They're already taking our taxes. So why am I paying additionally? You're taking my tax and saying, no, it's going toward this, but it's really going towards illegals in other countries. And then the people in this country who are getting assistance for a cell phone that I don't believe they should have unless they can afford it. Cable, again, shouldn't have it if they can't afford it. Like all these are luxuries. They're not necessities. Why am I paying for other people's luxuries? I don't get it. You're already taking my money from taxes, supposedly to pay for these things for them. But yet now the companies themselves are allowed to charge me fees so that I preemptively pay for somebody who can't afford something that they're not entitled to.
Exactly. Not fair, but we've been in a corrupted system. It's all about breaking us and breaking our system and stealing much of the wealth and the resources as they can. And the people that sit above them know that. That's why they're like, go for it, go do it, go forth and do this stuff. We'll enable you. We'll give you ways to do it, and you'll even think it's your own idea. It's your king shit, and you'll see how fast your king shit status can get pulled away from you, right? When the real king shits come walking in the room. But you can pretend like you're that way for now, because we need you to be the front. Like real power is always in the shadows, right? Yep. Look at he said South Jersey.
No, he said sounds like I don't sound like South Jersey, and he knows.
Oh, sorry, sounds like Jersey.
Come on. No, like that's not.
That's Jersey girl. Oh yeah, she's a Jersey girl.
Oh yeah, through and through.
She
Can you
is.
tell how loud I am?
Yeah,
I am what I am, and that's all I am.
That's all that she is.
Shelly, the Jersey woman. Sorry. There you go.
That's right.
Just don't go to Jersey. You get hit by a bus.
Right. All right. Well,
inside joke.
Let's go check out some cool things. What do you say, Shell?
Sure.
Filters change the way we feel. Blurry lines between what's real. Cool things a thrill we chase. Time's a blur in this fast-paced race. I'm lost in a world of cool things, streaming through my endless dreams. Every frame, a piece of me, it shows cool things wherever I go. My career screams call out my name. Pixelated faces play the game. Cool things that are coming in time. I want every one of them to be mine.
Boosh, thanks for being here, man. Thanks for adding so much tonight. Hope to see you around. Take care, and we'll catch you next time. All right. So, cool things. We do all kinds of things on cool things. I thought I have a hodgepodge of things to show you this week. Let me get up here so you can see me better. This just in, this is very interesting. This is the kind of stuff I find for cool things, cool stuff too. It really could be called cool stuff. Let's cool things, stuff and things. What happened? Oh, Lex is here. Lex is here. Lex.
Hi, honey.
What? Hold on. What is he winning? He thinks it's proof that it's leading two beasts and Antichrist, claiming a bunch of what? Armored Skeptic has jumped the shark. I remember like he used to do some pretty okay stuff, but now I think the two beasts and Antichrist are coming. Oh Lord,
that's gonna be fun. We'll have to check that out later.
We'll have to check that out. Yeah, that sounds like a good call. I'm sure I'm subscribed to him, but I haven't clicked on his stuff in so long it didn't show up in my feed. I guess because I'm not looking at Antichrist stuff. And yeah, this is how you get silence.
I love
all right, bring on the
raptor.
Silence.
Like, it's the rapture. You know,
the Cylons from the last Battlestar Galactica they're pretty hot. So,
were they?
Yeah, you would have liked them. All right, so here we go. Make sure I got this kind of sped up here. So this is interesting to I guess I got a bunch of different things. So if it's one thing you don't think it's interesting, you'll probably the next thing you probably will think it is. I got a bunch of different ones tonight. But this is James Webb Telescope saw first objects beyond dark age. Okay, so we're gonna watch it to about right here, or about right there. So about 3 minutes.
Be divided between before Webb and after Webb?
Yes, I believe it will be.
So something real is happening, but we can't tell yet if it's a mistake in our observations, a mistake in our interpretation, or just something nature is surprising us with, such as a new kind of dark matter, a new kind of dark energy, or something else that would be really exciting to discover. So if there's a Nobel Prize in here, that could be one of them.
Look at this image. What you see here is a very distant cosmic structure shining brightly in the early universe. But the discovery of this bright object has solved a long-standing mystery of astronomy, because our current understanding of the universe says that our universe came into existence about 14 billion years ago. And after the Big Bang, the universe went through a period of complete darkness called the Dark Ages. This was the time when the universe was filled with clouds of gas everywhere. Even if we built the most powerful telescope ever built, we wouldn't be able to see beyond the Dark Ages. But for decades, scientists have been noticing that some strange light was coming from the dark clouds. A serious discovery has sparked debate among astronomers. Recently, for the first time, the Webb telescope observed two ancient galaxies. Intriguingly, these galaxies seem distinct from those familiar to us, prompting questions about their origin within our universe. Such discoveries of Webb telescope have raised some big questions. Are we wrong about the age of our universe, or are we wrong about the origin of these galaxies? So, what are these strange lights, and where are they coming from? Well, new discoveries from the Webb telescope have finally revealed this mystery and conclude that what we previously thought about the early universe may need to be revised. This new Webb telescope image revealed that this light is actually a rich source of Lyman alpha emission. This image shows that there were more galactic mergers in the early universe than we could see before the Webb telescope got going. Those mergers and interactions and the abundant star formation that they spawned are responsible for both creating the Lyman alpha emissions. But scientists previously believed that these emissions should have been blocked by the dense hydrogen clouds that filled the space between galaxies during the Dark Ages, and we should not have seen these emissions.
Right.
But we are seeing it. Well, researchers recently revealed that as stellar mass gathered and stars formed in these early galaxies, two things happened. Stars emitted Lyman alpha emissions, and they created bubbles and channels of ionized hydrogen in the light-blocking neutral hydrogen gas. The bubbles and channels allowed Lyman alpha emissions through, so this shows that the stars could detect objects beyond the Dark Ages. And surprisingly, in another recent deep field image, scientists found two galaxies that existed beyond the darkness of the early universe, and scientists are now saying that these galaxies are not like the ones we have seen. On the other hand, both of these galaxies are highly red-shifted, and astronomers claim that this would be a serious problem if these objects are indeed galaxies. This graph representation provides a comprehensive overview of distant galaxies as seen through the remarkable capabilities of the Webb telescope. Here we can
telescope's amazing stuff, man. Like we still have so much to learn. about the universe.
See the farthest galaxies confirmed through spectroscopic observations. One of them, named
Wish more AI gets
GNZ11,
involved in
lies
helping
approximately 13.2 billion light years away and was initially spotted by the Hubble telescope.
It's amazing.
A recent image from the Webb
It's amazing we
telescope
can do
has
this.
revealed something extraordinary in this galaxy.
All right.
Astronomers have identified a supermassive black
30
hole
seconds.
at its center. This finding establishes it as the most distant black hole on record, forming just 400 million years after the Big Bang, challenging our understanding of black hole formation due to its enormous size.
That's incredible stuff, man. So I don't know how much that stuff, and look at the eye I saw on down there, how much that stuff interests people here, or like it bores them or whatever. But I just, you know, my mind's everywhere. I'm always trying to take in new information, and I think that's pretty damn cool. As long as we're on the space topic, let me go ahead and move this one up. And oh yeah, let's move this one up here. That's what we're gonna do. We already saw this one the other night, so I can move that one out of the way. Oh yeah, where's the Danzig one? I got some Danzig coming up for you guys in a second. That'll be interesting. Nice little tweener here. Get the manta ray out of there. We did manta ray already. Pull that one down here. I think. Did I? All right, I'm just Oregon right real quick, man. I'm Oregon man.
Heidi said, yes, so much to learn, but sometimes we're not supposed to know everything. I don't know. We watch these videos, and
So
then
here I
there are
was
some
trying to
people
make
who,
some kind of a super interesting.
Sorry. Go ahead.
there are some people who, you know, they're like, oh, but, you know, the Bible and God. There's nowhere in the Bible that gave a timeline for when God created, you know, the first things, like how long he chose the days to be. Time for God is different than time for us. But I like to think that, yeah, the universe, I think God played. I think he experimented. He said, let's put this over here. Let's make this like that. Like, what happens if I do this? And I kind of want to do this. Like, I like to think he had fun creating the universe and the world. I don't think he created us for suffering. I think that he created everything because he wanted to. And I don't see why people, like science people, like, oh no, there can't be a God. Because why? Why? Because you can't explain it. I mean, 100 years ago, you couldn't, you know, explain antibiotics because they didn't exist. So it's like, you know, you guys are learning, but maybe there's a bigger thing out there, but they don't want to lean that way. They just want facts. Just want facts. But I love this kind of stuff because it makes me kind of create this web where everything comes together and everything touches. I like to see the connections and the possibilities. And if there's a little imagination thrown in there, so be it. That's the whole thing about, you know, religion. The faith is part of you having beliefs based on things you can't touch, see, taste, feel, or whatever, you know, to everybody's satisfaction. That's why everybody's faith is different. But anyway, go ahead. Go ahead. I love nerdy space stuff. What are you kidding me? Zach without a K. Zach without a K and MJ. How you doing? How you
Zach
doing?
and MJ.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, you guys? How you doing? How you doing? All right.
How you doing?
So,
how you doing?
I don't know if you guys have seen this out there or not. Well, we got some stuff, some images back from Mars recently. And people have been passing around this image of
sorry.
Of a square, and they said it must be a sign of Earth on Mars. I mean, of life on Mars, right? It's a perfect square. It's a perfect square. But let's do this real quick first.
Yeah, that's what made me laugh.
Let's do this real quick.
Oh my!
Zach, what's up? What's up, Zach? $2 super chat. Thank you so much, sir. Orion's belt is a giant waste of space. That's true.
Waste
That's
WAIST.
true. And then hello again, MJ. How you doing? It is. And thank you so much for supporting the channel. And thank you again for another $2 super chat. Not a great joke. I give it 3 stars. Oh, someone's on fire tonight. Someone's on fire tonight. Keep them coming, Zach. Keep them
I
coming.
love that they know
All right.
what kind of jokes make me laugh. I hate you, Zach. Good job. I needed that. Go ahead.
All right. So, anyways, yeah. So, of course, whenever there's something like this out there, there are people that are immediately ready to troll with it and to grip with it and to do both. And I don't know if you know who Anton is, but Anton's this cool, chill dude from probably Russia or he's from some place with an accent, right? He's a Slavic kind of guy, right? If you know what I'm talking about. And he's a sciencey guy, and he's got a great channel. I love his channel. And so whenever I see him come out with stuff, he really has some base takes on shit. So I think you guys will enjoy this understanding of what we're seeing coming from Mars right now. So you don't get fooled by some of the images that are out there. He breaks it down, just like most of the base people I have on here as creators. Like a Jeff Alstroth, but for space. Put it that way. All right, here we go.
So here I was trying to make some kind of a super interesting video about Martian scientific discoveries when everyone on the internet started to talk about yet another unusual image from the surface of Mars that's probably aliens or extraterrestrial intelligence building structures on the surface. All right, let's discuss the experiments everyone's talking about.
It's like, the funny thing about it is too, like, I'll just say this real quick and I'll let him go, is that whenever you see people like the face of Mars and shit like that, it's like, dude, nobody ever asked about purposes. What is the purpose of this? I mean, it's like, so anyways, and like they say, look, that looks like an ancient structure. I was like, it looks like a pretty crappy one if you ask me. It's like, all right, here we go.
About and why it's probably not aliens and why it's just a geological feature. Hello, wonderful person. This is Anton.
We have similar
Let's
taste,
take a look at the picture first, and let's actually discuss the Martian surface and a lot of different intriguing features on the surface imaged in the last few months. Discussing what.
Oops, sorry.
Because if you actually Mars is currently going through. But here's that image. Let's take a look at the picture first, and let's actually discuss the Martian surface and a lot of different intriguing features on the surface.
You're gonna learn a lot
imaged in
about
the last
Mars
few
right
months,
here. I'll tell you
discussing
that.
what we'll learn about Mars in the process, but also talk about some of the dramatic shifts and dramatic changes Mars
I learned
is
things in this
currently
video
going through.
I never heard before.
But here's that image.
Yeah,
This
here's
was
the image.
trending on Twitter and a few.
Okay, so have you guys seen this on Twitter? Has anybody seen this? Cool, I'll check it out. Thanks, Zach. I appreciate it, man. Have you guys seen this image? And just shout out if you've seen this image real quick. Anywhere recently.
Rectangles on Mars.
Even if you didn't
Mars
stop and
bars.
look at it. Even if you didn't stop and look at it, you just happened to glance by it. Okay, so yeah, Heidi has. Okay, so watch how he breaks this down. So here we go.
Few other social networks for the last few days, and obviously raised a lot of eyebrows. A discovery of what seems to be some kind of an ancient pyramid on Mars, I guess, maybe. Except that, as always, this is maybe just a little bit fake.
You're so
Fake because
nice.
if you actually look on the bottom,
He's so nice compared to the way I handle these things. It's much a little fake, huh?
there's also a link to some kind of a website which seems to be related to UFOs. And that's
UFO-blogger.com. Yeah, okay. So
because this is not the real image that was posted by NASA a few days back. The real image looks like this. And though there is still a bit of a square shape in here, even here things were kind of processed. And so let's go take a look at the actual image posted by NASA, which you can find in the description below, and try to discover what's really there. So first of all, if you follow the link in the description, you'll notice that this image is unusually long vertically. As a matter of fact, you have to keep scrolling up and up until you find that shape we're looking for. And that's because, oh yeah, here it is. Here's that square. And that's because this image was taken by the Martian orbiter, specifically Mars Global Surveyor, that's been here for quite some time and contains its Mars orbiter camera that's able to take pictures pretty much actively as it orbits the planet. But if you're old enough, this image might remind you of something else.
Yes.
The famous Face on Mars,
Famous
taken by the
Face on
Lucky One
Mars.
back in
Oh, here's proof. Here's proof aliens exist. See, when people will look for anything to confirm their bias or to solidify the grift, right?
1976. This was obviously also very bizarre and very unusual, and even led to at least one episode of the X-Files. But as we've discovered within just a few years, and especially by reconstructing the structure
There it
in
is.
3 dimensions,
There's the face.
there was no face, It was
No
just a
face.
very bizarre mountain, which
Yep.
is pretty much the same thing here. This might resemble
I
some
mean,
kind of a
how long have
square
we
or
been
even
seeing
some kind of
a
a
face in the moon? Come on.
buried pyramid, but if you look closer, you'll notice that it's far from being a perfect square and actually does resemble a typical mountain range and a relatively small mountain, approximately 3 kilometers across. But then
That's
we get
it.
these fake edited images on the web, and it suddenly becomes the center of everyone's attention. Obviously, though, this is very different from this. And this is definitely not some kind of a buried alien structure. As a matter of fact, here on Earth, we even have natural mountains that look more pyramid-like and have also raised ufologist eyebrows back in the days. One of the more
Ufologists.
famous ones is this, the bizarre pyramid in Antarctica. Except that
That's proof. That's proof. The Earth's flat.
this is not a pyramid, and scientists have visited this place many times because it's also very famous for a lot of different fossils. This is just one of the peaks in the Ellsworth Mountains, which have been very thoroughly explored and explained in a study right here that you can also find in the description. No pyramids, no aliens, no extraterrestrials, nothing but very beautiful mountains. And today we know that this is most likely the result of a very special type of carving through hundreds of millions of years of erosion, the result of what's known as free-thaw erosion, which is basically when you have a lot of water and a lot of snow go through its cycles for many, many years. And specifically when water and tiny pieces of snow fill cracks inside the mountain and then freeze at night, with the ice expanding and slowly breaking the mountain apart. This basically causes gaps inside the rock to grow larger and larger over time, resulting in a lot of pressure that slowly breaks the mountain apart, forming these bizarre shapes. And we know this freeze-thaw phenomenon exists in a lot of places. Here's another famous mountain, Matterhorn, formed in a very similar way. And so likewise, this is also a result of some kind of an erosion, but exactly what kind?
It's so funny because people will be like, I love science, but they won't, they don't understand that what he's doing is real science, right? Like, I love scientists tell me things to think, but he's actually breaks it down for you and helps you learn real science.
Is obviously unknown to us. And that's because Mars is just very different from Earth. Here, the water cycle would just not exist, and instead, we would actually have some kind of a carbon dioxide cycle that would produce different
This is interesting
erosion.
too, right?
Erosion that's most likely caused by both the wind on Mars and the transition of carbon dioxide into the solid form, which then turns it back into gas when it gets warmer. And when it comes to wind, for example, we know that based on some of the recent Ingenuity measurements, the winds on Mars are much stronger than we thought. Previously, the average wind speed was expected to be approximately 10 to 15 meters per second, but Ingenuity regularly measured winds at least double the speed, up to 25 meters per second, detectable just a few weeks ago.
Does anybody know commie math? Like, what's 25 meters per second?
So if there are a lot of strong winds, we would obviously expect a lot of erosion. But right now, in the last few weeks, researchers have been actually observing Mars for this exact reason. We actually get to see a lot of these changes and a lot of this erosion in real time because Mars is currently going through its New Year changes. It's
New Year
going through one of
changes.
the most active and even
This is something
one
you
of the
probably didn't
most
know.
explosive
I'm
periods
telling you, this is
when things
interesting.
on the surface start to change as the surface in some regions is warming up. And that's because right now this planet is getting more and more active as the spring begins. And we get to see many of these changes in pretty much real time. For example, the ice on its poles is changing, but so are the individual structures around the entire Martian surface. And that's because here, as I mentioned before, there is really no liquid
Hey,
cycle,
what's up, amazing?
but
How
there
you
is a
doing?
CO2 cycle. And that cycle is just a little bit different.
CO2
Instead of
cycle.
ice turning into liquid and melting,
Yeah.
here ice just becomes gas right away and
Yeah.
sublimates. And
It
the
skips.
sublimation on Mars can be a little bit explosive. Explosive enough to suddenly create
Look at that. That happens on Mars.
huge geysers on the surface and transform the surface almost right away. And so here, as light shines through some of this carbon dioxide and heats up the bottom, it basically causes a sudden sublimation event where most of this ice suddenly becomes gas and then just explodes, which then creates these very bizarre fan-like formations
pretty fast,
coming
Wolf.
from within Mars. And sometimes after these eruptions, they'll often leave these bizarre marks on the surface we refer to as
That's proof of alien life.
spiders, mostly because all of this ice inside is now gone and the surface above it starts to crumble. And here's actually a really cool picture
Look at
that
that.
you might have not seen before.
These are these aliens? Is this disclosure?
What the scientists now refer to as Martian kidney beans.
The
Except that
kidney
here, this
bean.
is
The
just
kidney
Martian
beans
dunes
are
with a
coming
lot
for
of ice between them. These are basically frozen sand dunes on Mars in the
Frozen
northern
sand dunes,
hemisphere.
guys.
And here, all of these dunes are covered by a tiny layer of carbon dioxide which is kind of like frost here
But
on
you can
Earth.
probably get some people to believe that, like, kidney bean aliens live on Mars, just by showing them this picture.
Which actually stops the wind from scooping up the sand and prevents these dunes from migrating just like they usually do on planet Earth. So basically, normally dunes are not actually stable formations. They do move across the surface, but very, very slowly as the sand migrates. But when there's so much frost, they don't. They freeze on the surface and stay in the same spot until the frost disappears. And so during the springtime, which is technically now, all of this frost will disappear and the dunes will become mobile once again.
Me
And so
too.
sometimes in the next 2 years, none of this will be here and it will all look very different. And
Yeah, so I mean that's some cool stuff, right? Yeah, it's just a bunch more stuff here. We're kind of skipping through this. I just wanted to show you the initial part of that, really, for the most part. Just like if you happen to see that square picture out there, and other ones like it that come off of Mars, just remember this video. Remember where you saw it. Remember you saw it here first. You saw a bunch of bullshit, right? And you saw a real life scientific kind of guy who was very nicely and gently explained it to people. But you know what? What about the moon? Now we're gonna get into some cool stuff. I want to show you a new Starship moon base design coming out from Elon Musk here, and you guys can tell me if this is real or not. Lockheed Martin, the Skunk Works, the place that I work and run billionaire disinformation for. Insane attack carrier. Have you guys ever heard of the CL-1201? Is that a real plane? Coming up after that, I want to tell you the story of the song Mother by Danzig. It might not be what you think it was. And then I want to take a look around at some 13 hidden underground cities in America. Like I said, I try to find things that are kind of cool and interesting, and we can watch them together. That's what we do here during Cool Things. It sounds cool, doesn't it? That's what we do on Cool Things. And it's the real cool. It's spelled with a C. And then after that, we'll be getting into funny videos. I got some funny videos for you tonight. And then Shelly's going to sing a song. Okay.
When don't I sing a song? That's not new.
Nobody said it was new. All right. So, guys, get your investigator hats on. I need to know if this is, well, not this one. This one, it may or may not be bullshit. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Some of these times I look at these things, I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then it might not be even, it might just be imagine this. Great SpaceX. I hate it when they start videos like this. All right. You don't need the dramatic intro. We've all heard Neil Armstrong on the moon.
After more than 50 years, humanity is on the brink of returning to the moon. This time, with the innovative partnership of NASA and SpaceX, the mission extends beyond planting flags and leaving footprints. The goal is far more ambitious: to establish a permanent base on the lunar surface. What makes this mission even more remarkable is that SpaceX intends to accomplish it using only its Starship vehicle. Not only will Starship transport astronauts to the moon, but it will also play a central role in constructing and supporting the lunar base itself.
It's not stylish, but it works.
How will SpaceX bring this bold vision to life? Join me on today's episode to find out, only on Great SpaceX. In a presentation at Starbase, Texas, Elon Musk, the founder of SpaceX, outlined the company's ultimate ambition, Moon Base Alpha. This lunar base will be built using the Starship spacecraft, specifically the Human Landing System variant. The Starship HLS is designed to ferry astronauts between lunar orbit and the moon's surface and back again. Developed as part of NASA's Artemis program under the Human Landing System contract, Starship HLS plays a pivotal role in NASA's mission to land a crew on the moon. Like its standard counterpart, the Starship HLS is 50 to 60 meters tall with a 9-meter diameter and can transport more than 100 tons to the lunar surface. Equipped with 6 Raptor engines, the HLS variant will utilize these powerful engines during launch, landing, and ascent phases. However, the HLS differs significantly from the standard Starship in several ways. Since it does not re-enter Earth's atmosphere, the heat shield and flight control surfaces typical of Starship are removed. This modification reduces mass, decreasing the number of refueling tanker launches required once the spacecraft reaches orbit. Additionally, without the need for re-entry systems, the methane and liquid Liquid oxygen tanks can be repurposed for other functions once the spacecraft
That
is on the
really
moon.
works.
Another key feature of the lunar Starship is its white exterior, replacing the iconic stainless steel design. This change enhances thermal management, crucial for surviving the extreme conditions of the lunar environment. Building the lunar landing system from an existing Starship design rather than developing a completely new system offers many advantages. NASA has emphasized that minimizing changes to the vehicle configuration and standardizing the design for the HLS will streamline development. This approach eliminates the need for redundant testing, evaluation, and verification processes required for entirely new
pretty
designs.
cool.
By
That's a
doing
good
so,
idea.
SpaceX can accelerate production timelines, ensuring the spacecraft is available for mission integration and deployment on schedule. With these groundbreaking adaptations, SpaceX and NASA are at the starting line in order to make history by not just visiting the moon, but establishing a lasting presence there. Then again, NASA may not yet fully appreciate the unique advantages of building a lunar habitat from SpaceX's Starship, particularly its transformation into a permanent base after serving as a lunar landing system. This ambitious concept
Launching
utilizes the vehicle's
Negro.
entire internal
Earth.
volume, including its fuel tanks, to create a habitable environment. Here's how this transformation can be achieved and the innovative process behind it. Establishing a permanent lunar base demands significant infrastructure, equipment, and essential supplies for astronauts to conduct research and sustain long-term
Can you
habitation.
imagine the
To
early
achieve this,
days of
SpaceX proposes launching
moon
2 Starships to the moon.
development?
One will carry astronauts, while the other, an unmanned craft, will transport supplies. The supply Starship will be loaded with tools, materials, systems, and provisions necessary for building and maintaining the
Look at
base.
that thing.
Before departing Earth's orbit, both vehicles will undergo refueling in preparation for the trans-lunar injection burn. The designated landing site is the Shackleton crater at the moon's south pole.
Oh,
This
good
site
old
is ideal for a
Shackleton.
permanent lunar base due to its unique conditions. The peaks along the crater's rim receive nearly continuous sunlight, a critical feature for solar power generation. Meanwhile, the crater's interior remains in perpetual shadow, making it a potential reservoir for water ice, essential for sustaining life and generating fuel.
Good old
Shackleton also
water
offers a
ice.
direct line of sight to Earth, facilitating uninterrupted communication. These advantages make it a prime location for lunar habitation. Upon
love
landing,
it.
astronauts will descend to the surface using Starship's elevator system. Their initial tasks will include remotely deploying power reactors, solar panels, and radiators, as well
That'd
as
be
transferring
so
any
cool.
remaining fuel into designated storage tanks.
Shelly, would
Once
you
these
go on
preparatory
an
steps are
elevator to
completed,
the
the
moon?
process of transforming Starship into a lunar base can begin.
Uh,
Transformation
no.
process relies heavily on robotic assistance to minimize astronaut exposure to the moon's harsh environment. Cosmic radiation, extreme temperatures, and limited mobility in extravehicular activity suits pose significant challenges. Therefore, remotely operated robots will handle most construction tasks, ensuring efficiency and safety. The first major step involves positioning the Starship
Get all that
horizontally.
moon dust
This
up with
requires
the
reducing
vacuum.
stresses on the vehicle's body by unloading any non-essential payloads such as radiators and solar panels. These systems can be deployed outside the vehicle, reducing its mass and lowering its center of gravity. The internal volume of the tanks and payload area will be kept at minimal pressure to maintain structural integrity during
This
the
is
maneuver.
pretty
The
cool.
horizontalization process utilizes a hinge mechanism to guide the vehicle's tilt. Elevator
Hey,
cables will
has
detach and
anybody
anchor
ever
to
thought
support
about
the
how they
vehicle's
would
weight
develop the
during the
moon? I
initial
mean, this is
phase,
some pretty good
while a
ideas
scissor
right
lift
here.
will transfer the load to the ground in the final stages. The
There we
vehicle will
go.
ultimately rest between 2 parallel ridges of piled regolith, preventing rolling
Yes.
and providing
We'll call
structural
it
support. With the
proximity
Starship
1.
positioned horizontally, the next step is to empty its fuel tanks completely.
Oh, yeah, we're
Residual
way
fuel is
behind.
vented to eliminate any
Way
risk of
behind.
fire during subsequent modifications. These empty tanks, along with the cargo bay, form the foundation for the habitable areas of the base. Remarkably, converting the
Habitable.
fuel tanks alone creates a space approximately 2.5 times larger than the International Space Station's habitable volume. After cleaning the tanks to remove any remnants of fuel, construction begins with the installation of insulation and radiation shielding along the internal walls. Floors are
Right.
then added to the structure, which can either feature a single expansive level with high ceilings or multiple levels nearly 3 meters high each. These design options prioritize comfort and aim to
Moonraker.
reduce the psychological stress of living in a confined space. The interior is divided into functional areas to support the astronauts' daily needs and scientific objectives. These include private and communal living quarters, complete with sleeping pods, a kitchen, and a lounge area. Scientific facilities will include a laboratory for experiments, such as growing plants without soil to establish sustainable food sources. Additionally, a small medical bay equipped for treating injuries and illnesses will be installed.
Tight
Finally,
quarters.
cables and pipes will be laid for essential systems, such as communication, electricity,
I don't
ventilation,
know,
and
man.
water distribution. Despite the extensive
Pretty
modifications
cool.
to the Starship's interior, an additional protective measure is necessary, which involves covering the base with a layer of moon rock. This is crucial for shielding against meteoroids, which pose a significant threat on the moon due to the lack of an atmosphere. On Earth, meteoroids typically burn up in the atmosphere before reaching the surface, but the moon's exposure makes it vulnerable to high-speed impacts. A 5-meter thick layer of regolith, the loose soil covering much of the lunar surface, will be applied over the base. This
Look at
protective
that.
shell not only guards against meteoroid strikes, but also provides additional insulation. This innovative approach transforms the Starship HLS into a permanent lunar habitat capable of supporting long-term missions and
It
advancing
does.
humanity's exploration of the moon. By repurposing the vehicle, SpaceX maximizes its utility, turning what would have been a single-use lander into a sustainable base.
I mean,
The process
that's smart, right? I mean, that's how Elon's always thinking outside the
is
box.
efficient, cost-effective, and aligns with the overarching goals of establishing a human presence beyond Earth. Once operational, the base will provide a platform for scientific discovery, technological innovation, and preparation for future missions to Mars
Yep.
and beyond. Its location at the moon's south pole offers unparalleled opportunities for studying lunar geology, harvesting resources, and testing life support systems in a real-world
Maybe we can
extraterrestrial
finally get those goddamn Nazis off of it.
environment. Furthermore, the base could serve as a stepping stone for deeper space exploration, reinforcing humanity's position as an interplanetary species. In conclusion, the transformation of Starship into a lunar base represents a groundbreaking step in space exploration. This dual-purpose vehicle not only fulfills its role as a lunar lander, but also evolves into a habitable structure, pushing the boundaries of what is possible in off-world construction and sustainability. By leveraging innovative design and robotic assistance, SpaceX is poised to redefine humanity's relationship with the moon, laying the groundwork for a future where permanent lunar habitation is a reality. Of course, in order to survive in the moon in the long term, humanity must first address the fundamental necessities: air, water, and food. The moon's atmosphere
Don't
contains
forget
no oxygen,
fire.
but the lunar surface is covered with a layer of sand-like material composed of metals and oxygen-rich compounds. While we typically associate oxygen with the air we breathe, significant amounts are trapped within the moon's regolith. Extracting oxygen
There you
from this
go.
material could provide astronauts with a sustainable supply of breathable air for future missions. Impressively, just 20 grams of lunar soil contains enough oxygen to keep an astronaut alive for about 20 minutes. NASA recently demonstrated the feasibility of this process at the Johnson Space Center in Houston, where scientists
yeah, they sure
successfully
did.
extracted oxygen
You
from
better
simulated
believe it.
lunar soil. This test validated the potential to harness oxygen directly from the moon's
It
resources,
does look good
offering
animated,
a vital
doesn't it,
lifeline for
Levy?
human survival and even fueling
Wow,
future
look how
space
cool that
exploration
is.
missions. While water is scarcer on the moon than on Earth, it is present, particularly in the form of ice. The lunar South Pole, where future settlements are planned, holds the highest potential for discovering ice
Get some
deposits.
moon
This
ice.
water will serve multiple purposes:
Moon
supporting
ice is
human life,
nice.
enabling food production, and contributing to propulsion technology. Water will be essential for growing crops
Some
on the
people
moon,
call
a
it
critical step
mice.
toward establishing a sustainable food source. After purification, water can be used for drinking and daily activities, eliminating the need for astronauts to consume recycled urine as they currently do. Beyond
Yeah,
sustainable
we need to get away from that recycled urine shit.
Yeah, no, that's never going to catch on ever.
Yeah, it's not a good selling point for the trip.
Yeah,
Don't be
I
drink
sent
everybody's piss. At least you get to go
I
to the
s-
moon.
Yeah, in private chat, I sent you a thing just to, I don't know if that you want to show it. It's nothing to
Ooh.
show, but you know how we talked about the national anthem before, how they booed us
Mm-hmm.
in Canada? Yeah, well, USA won the game 3-1. So keep booing, we keep winning.
It
So.
says we keep on winning. Look at that.
Mhm.
Isn't that sweet?
I don't know. Everybody
sure
loves you. See?
did.
There you go.
Don't worry. You guys want to you guys want to you want us to help you, right? You don't want you don't want to stay with Trudeau. I mean, believe me. We don't want to take your country over. We just want to help you. All right. Laugh out loud. A cool drink of piss. Yeah, have a nice cool drink of piss. Piss
It's never
moon
going to
soda.
catch on. Nope. Nope.
It's 37 degrees right now. Yeah. Screw that. All right, guys. You ready to go? Let's see, where are we going next? Oh, yeah. Let's head on over to the goddamn skunk works.
All I do
Lockheed
is
Skunk
win,
Works.
win,
They have everything you
no
can
matter
imagine
what.
over there. Everything from every sci-fi movie I ever grew up with. It's great. Okay. So I don't know why I closed that. That's all I had to do is move down one. All right, guys. Real or not? This is cool things. One thing we have to always think about is real or not, right? Sometimes
They
we
already
do,
do.
especially when we're looking at future tech and military tech, especially. So we're going to take a trip into our military now. And I know a lot of people here will dig this trip. And we're going to find out, is this a real thing or not? Is it a possible thing? Is it something? I mean, I think it's a great idea. I love the concept of this, but, not being a military guy myself, I don't know whether or not this is just somebody kind of grifting on it or what. So let's check it out.
In 1969, the U.S. government launched one of the most unusual projects in the history of aviation. It had only two objectives: determine just how large an aircraft could get,
Oh, it looks like one of those giant flying triangles I seen.
demonstrate what it would mean for U.S. air power.
I mean, do we have one of these? Is this a real deal?
Spearheaded by the most secretive
Look at that.
company in aviation,
That's an SF-71. That's a CL. How do you get something that big off the ground in 1969? So you go back to UFO stories, the lights over top of the Arizona, they flew over the White House. They did this, they did that. And I believe it's all just U.S. military stuff, honestly. And I don't think it, advanced for its times. There's no proof aliens have ever been to this planet, ever. There's zero proof anywhere. So you can't start when you look up the sky with aliens or even consider it. You have to start with, do we have any solid proof that aliens ever? Well, there has to be aliens somewhere in the universe. That's a fallacy. Doesn't mean they've been here. We saw how big the universe is and how small we are. All right. But yeah, you know, so I mean, I think when you look at some of these planes that are listed right here in front of us, if this CL 1201 is a real plane, guys, well, I'm looking for my military out there right now. I'm looking for you guys. Is this a real thing? Have you heard of it? And we know the other two are, right? So the U2 going back to the 50s, all right, the SR-71 and the 60s. And here at the end of the 60s, early 70s, we got this gigantic, massive thing. Like, I don't even know how you get this thing off the ground personally. So that's why I'm asking is if it's real or not. Right? I mean, you're thinking like I am. We're going with the logistics, right? Amazing. We're looking at the logistics. Yeah. How do you get this thing off the ground? I mean, how fast do you have to go to get lift on this? Like, right? And again, so if you have to go fast, you have to get lift. How much fuel, right? And then what you're carrying fighter jets on the wings. I love the concept of this, though. I think it's very cool. It's very like, you know, it's very Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of thing, you know.
Result, the Lockheed CL-1201,
the
a
skunk
project
works.
that to this day remains shrouded in mystery.
Not for Stephen Greer. He's got all the inside info. He's done all the debrief. He's done all the debriefings, man. I mean, geez.
The 1960s saw breathtaking advancements in the field of aerospace.
That we know
Aircraft were
of.
flying faster, higher.
I mean, yeah. If you were back in the day and you saw that go across the sky, you'd think it was you would think it was some kind of like, well, you'd think it was from another planet because you'd never seen it before. That's just the way, you know, fill in the gaps mind works. You know?
And further. And engineers weren't just pushing the limits of speed.
That's you too, right?
Aircraft were getting larger. The newly developed Lockheed C-5 was a massive machine weighing several hundred tons. Its power and range dwarfed anything before it. But it wasn't unrealistic to assume that aircraft could get many times larger. Advances in aerodynamics, exotic new materials, and even new forms of propulsion were just around the corner.
For 2 months, man.
Much of the breakneck pace in development fueled by the Cold War.
You're not late at
With
all.
the
We're
United
just
States
wrapping
and
it up.
Soviet Union vying
We're
to
gonna go
gain
over
the
a
upper
little bit.
hand, huge sums were developing spy planes that could fly faster and higher, and bombers that could carry more payload further. The aim was to reach any corner of the world as quickly as possible. To counter the expansion of Soviet power, the United States maintained a strategy of containment. And that meant maintaining a vast fleet of carrier battle groups that could respond to a crisis anywhere in the world. But as the Cold War intensified throughout the 1960s,
So
no
hold on.
corner of the
For time's
world
sake,
seems...
For time's sake, is this a real thing or not? Zach said it was just a design. But is it for real? Yeah, right. I don't think it is. I think this is one of those things where people put together videos and then just kind of take up everybody's time. But they were really trying to test this thing out, right? A Lockheed's insane attack carrier, literally putting planes on the outside of a plane and dropping them in. Now, I can understand why they might have thought this was a cool idea and then they scrapped it, because why bother, right? I mean, does it give you any kind of advantage?
Nearly 6,000 tons and with an 1,100-foot wingspan to serve as both a military transport and an airborne aircraft carrier. Yet today, surprisingly little is known about the project.
Yeah, okay. So I'm not going to waste you guys' time going into this thing then. But I mean, it's pretty cool though. Okay, so it does fit into the cool things category, but because we're for time's sake, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna save the Danzig story for next time. All right, I'm gonna save that because we need to move on to funny videos because we've almost had you guys here 3 hours, and I want to make sure we get some funny videos in before we take off for the evening. So we got something cool to look forward to next time, including 30 hidden underground cities in America, the story of Danzig's song Mother, and other cool things that I will find for us to talk about. I'm sure I had some other things from like weeks ago that I haven't even thought about yet. Meteorite caught on camera crashing into Canada. Shocking images of Jupiter, what it really looks like more from the James Webb Telescope. What if the U.S. Army went to war with Mexican drug cartels? An hour by hour look at how fast we wipe them out. That's kind of cool too. So, anyways, that's some stuff coming up on cool things here in future episodes, just to let y'all know about it. All right, and just like that, it is time. It is time for, what do you call them? Oh yeah, funny videos.
We showed you there with Elon and Trump. It's like there's laughing, there's fun, there's kids around. Think back to last week when Donald Trump signed the executive action banning boys and girls sports, and all of the girls that were cheering and around him. Like there's something happy actually happening here and joyful as it relates to politics and getting back to normalcy.
Now, the disruptor in chief, Elon Musk, who apparently has adopted the alias, at least he changed his social media handle to Harry Balls, tweeted this morning, "Democracy in America, judicial coup."
Look, if none of this stuff ever gets fixed,
That's right.
This is just a temporary blip in joy that we're having, and it all gets reversed tomorrow. The fact that Dana Bash had to go on CNN and say Harry Balls makes it all worthwhile. All of the pain we've
Hell
done,
yeah.
attempts, everything else was worth it just for that. Like this is what they're doing to these people. It's hilarious.
Okay, sir, this one says, now that the retards are out of the White House, everyone can say retard again with pride.
Why don't we get that down so they can get them going right now?
This one says white people are now allowed to say the N-word once a month, just to really get one out of the chamber. And it must be whispered with a black friend nearby.
That's a big one. We're opening up on one.
This is a good one, sir. Basically says if men have to put their height on the dating apps, women should have to put their weight. That's for quote-unquote equality. She wants to know if he can reach the top of the fridge. He should want to know if she's going to clean out the fridge. It's called the Rosie O'Donnell Fat Pig Act.
That's a big one.
Okay, this one says the LGBTQIA plus 2- umlaut community is now just going to be called the everything but straight people list. It's really just a time saver.
Well, we're going to try and get it done as quickly as possible.
China will now be called China America.
Now, if China didn't approve it, we could put tariffs on China.
When we take over Greenland, it will now be called Red, White, and Blue Land.
Greenland is a wonderful place. We need it for international security.
This one says if you see a man wearing a COVID mask outside, you can have sex with his girlfriend because Lord knows him is not pleasing her any longer.
People have wanted to do this for years. What's this one?
This says we are bringing back the real gun emoji, getting rid of that weak Democrat woke water pistol bullshit.
We have to do what's right.
Oh, this one's interesting, sir. It says all the fat, bald feminists with 40 cats who hate men, they will now be put in the front lines during any war. They don't have family or kids, just cats, as I said. So let's put them to work.
And that's the equivalent, almost the equivalent of a tariff. And they're tough. They're very tough.
If somebody says you have to respect my pronouns, you are allowed to fart in their mouth, sir.
Stranger things have happened. The wind brings it down a lot.
This one says if a woman divorces you and takes half your stuff, she's required to have sex with you half the time. Fair is fair, sir.
If we create that value, why aren't we entitled to like half? Thank you very much, everybody. All right, guys.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yesterday, Elon Musk visited Donald Trump in the Oval Office to address the press about the fantastic work that DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, is doing. Elon may be enemy number one.
Hey, Judge Matty, how you doing?
Of DOGE, perhaps the brainchild behind DOGE. And here he is facing off against the media, explaining that this is what we wanted.
Everyone's very quiet. So people normally this quiet?
Your detractors, Mr. Musk.
I have to what?
Including a lot of Democrats.
I have detractors?
You do, sir.
I don't believe it.
Say that you're orchestrating a hostile takeover of government and doing it in a non-transparent way. What's your response to that criticism?
Well, first of all, you couldn't ask for a stronger mandate from the public. The public voted.
Where's the song?
We have a majority of the public voting for president.
It's better than I possibly could have imagined. And this is a real video of one of the latest protests that the Marxist Democrats
Why do they
have
always look the
organized
same?
against
Why do commies
Doge.
always look the same?
I assure you, this is not a joke. I mean, I guess these people are a joke, but they're unintentionally a joke. This is real.
We'll fight against Doge. We'll fight Elon Musk. No Elon scab within our walls. We'll fight from dawn to dusk. Oh,
Oh my God, they're making dogs like howl everywhere.
which side are you on?
And the libtard media.
Oh my God! Somebody made that.
Carry a tune in a bucket.
Somebody made that song up at a hippie pop party camp out.
How's this now, man?
Look at this! Kid. Oh my God, we're all on mushrooms and tripping and so high, and then we had the goddamn djembe drums, and here comes along Jackass with this guitar, and we came because that song is they're just ripping off another song that's often sang around hippie campfires. So, anyways, without further ado, I just want to kind of tune you into that awful song because that's a funny thing for sure. Yeah,
Funny in a
All right.
very tragic way.
tragically funny, tragically funny. Man, I got a collection here of old things and whatever else, but not so much.
Gundam. He said I would rather hammer my nuts. It's a little extreme, but I
Right?
feel you had to-
No, I understand completely.
Mhm.
All right, so this was we're not gonna watch all this one either, or all of any of these, but we'll this one will irritate you. So trigger warning, because you're gonna see another unhinged leftist. But this one's probably this one looks like I don't know. You guys will come up with something amazing to say. Let me just say that. Here we go.
Bell has made it out of the Senate Judiciary Committee on his way to get confirmed as well. And with all this winning, just wanted to check in on our friends over on the left, the liberals, to see how they were doing.
Let's check it out.
And not well.
You're not gonna like what she has to say.
As it were. Not well indeed. And because I had to listen to this, you have to listen to it too. But don't worry, you're going to laugh. Because while we watch them lose their minds over literally everything, we get to sit back and enjoy a nice, delicious grapefruit spindrift as we revel in their
I want a winning edge.
Insanity.
Fuck you, fuck your Bible, and fuck Elon Musk and that weird little human shield he carries around with him. That thing has never heard the word no. Let's face it, that little booger flicking fucker sitting there with the president of the United States in the Oval Office holding a press conference. Boy, didn't he just put it right in our faces what's what yesterday. So any idea that you had that what wasn't happening isn't happening is off the table. That motherfucker's in charge. He's holding press conferences from the Oval Office with his rotten little bastard child.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Sorry, I hit the wrong one. It happens sometimes.
She called him his bastard child, bitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she's childless.
He's got the
like,
crazy eye thing.
ogre.
You had that what wasn't happening isn't happening is off the table.
I told you, tops of the eyes. If you see the white, they're
from the
crazy.
Oval Office with this rotten little bastard child who has never, ever once heard the word fucking no. So let's just call that spade what it is. And look, you Bible-beating bastard motherfuckers,
Oh,
come to
racist.
grips with this. I went through Catholic schools. I read the Bible. I read the book of Revelations. If you believe in all that shit, you Bible-thumping rat bastards, you must believe that we are in the end of times. And you need to know the Antichrist is here. The only problem is there's too many fucking fuckers to pick. Who the fuck is it? There's so many we could be picking
Have you
from.
looked in the mirror lately?
Really? I mean, you are scary in the dark or the
How
light.
many?
What the fuck?
How owned by big pharma is this woman's brain? I mean, look at the SSRIDs blowing off of that face right there.
Is it that rat bastard Elon Musk? Is it the rat bastard Donald Trump? Is it the rat bastard Barron? Who the fuck is what's up with that thing? Because you look at that Melania Trump, Melania motherfuck, whatever the fuck her crazy ass name is.
Well, the one that's like hot and you're not. It's like that one.
I fucking hate Christmas. I hate with
Not
the
well.
red shit all over the fucking White. What the fuck was that anyway? We put this shit back in the White House. I'm beside myself.
Oh,
you
yeah?
know, I was floating around a couple of months in a fucking pool,
There you have
looking
it.
at the clouds. Ooh,
What's up,
looking up
how you
chasing a
doing,
Volkswagen.
buddy?
I was fucking happy. I was fucking motherfucking happy. Now I've got to walk around wondering who the fucking Antichrist is. You rat bastard Bible thumping fuckers. You put us here. You motherfucker.
But she said she has to walk walking around wondering who the Antichrist is while she's calling everybody Bible thumpers. Like, if you didn't believe in the Bible in the first place, why would you have to want to run around looking for it?
Put us here. Fuck you. Fuck your Bible.
Oh man, I'm having a good time. How you guys doing? The first thing I thought when I saw that was like, yo, did she practice that? Do you think she wrote that down? I don't think so. Which I guess is kind of a compliment, because I kind of imagine that if she did write it down, she would have said rat bastard 83 times. But I do appreciate all the swearing. My friends, you know, as I scroll the internet to explore the current state of things, I am beset on all sides by videos of victory. You know what I mean? Like Donald Trump, Doge, Trump securing the border, Pete Hegseth getting wokeness out of the military, recruitment is way up. Have Trump won? Tulsi Gabbard gets confirmed as DNI, RFK. I have to wonder how our friends on the left are doing. And then I watch this, and I got to be honest, when I watch these videos, it's actually more winning. The outright losing of their minds. They, to be fair, I don't think their minds were with them to begin with. They must have lost them a long time ago. But these people are unhinged. Look,
good. How you doing,
that
Brady?
lady? It's performative. Let me, before I jump to the next one, just this lady saying all this crazy nonsense, and I don't think she blinks once.
In the Oval Office with this rotten little bastard child who has never,
she got psychoized.
Okay, I guess technically that was blinking. She closed her eyes. But why is she yelling at the dude's kid? You know, none of this is reasonable. But I would say for this lady, she really doesn't care about any of this. It's performative. And what works on the internet these days, I guess for the right and the majority of the population that voted for Donald Trump, is authenticity, we call it. So I don't script any of this stuff. I pull up things and then I press record and I start talking about it. But these people are largely performing. That's why often they'll know what they're saying is false, or it comes off like some kind of, I don't know, spoken word poem with lots of swears in it. She doesn't actually know or care about what's going on. She doesn't care about what the future of this country is going to be. She doesn't care about Lake and Riley, the Lake and Riley Act, what any of this means. She said literally that she was sitting there floating in the pool happy. She doesn't actually know or care what's going on. So I make a video like this. It's tribal performative garbage. And so for me, it's all just victory. They want to come out and they want to make this stuff. They're unhinged. They are ignorant. And then it gets better. Or worse, however you want to phrase it.
I need the city to protect me because the federal government won't. And if you think you're afraid of Trump, you should see how afraid of Trump I am.
Why are you afraid of Trump? I'm sorry. Let's go again.
To protect
white
me
gloves
because
make
the
it.
federal government won't. And if
pantomime.
you think you're afraid of Trump, you should see how afraid of Trump I am.
Can you wrap up, please?
Yeah, can you wrap up, please, ma'am? I can clearly see you're afraid of
Move
Trump. Is
along
Trump in the
now.
room with you now?
You know how afraid
I got to
Trump
tell you,
would
Donald
be
Trump
you
has
in
done
the dark?
nothing to these people
Holy
at
crap.
all. And they're absolutely losing their minds. So this
last
video
one, yeah.
is the city of Worcester. Worcester? I don't know how you pronounce it. Everybody pronounces it different.
Albino,
and they've declared themselves,
the
I believe
other
it's
one value.
a transgender, a sanctuary city for transgender and gender diverse people, which literally
There you
means
go.
nothing. There's no like
means
Trump
nothing.
brown shirts marching around to arrest trans people. Like the worst that happened is they said on your passport, if you're male, you have to put male. Why do you have to do that? Because the passport is for treaties and free movement with other countries. So they have laws and regulations too. How silly.
Yes, I can. If you say that you're afraid of Trump and that's why you don't want the city to be a safe space for trans people, you better prepare for trans people to make this a very unsafe space.
That's like a threat.
What that woman was saying is that they're threatening us with physical violence unless we cave to their demands. I would call that terrorism.
Yes, terrorism.
Shaking right now.
I would too.
I don't want to be here.
Wait.
You better
leave.
prepare for
What is that? I'm
trans
shaking?
people to make this a very unsafe space.
I'm shaking right now. I don't want to be here.
Then leave.
I'm sorry. Am I taking too long pleading for my life?
Oh, please.
You remembered how many children I have and that 2 of them are trans.
That's strange.
I'm not surprised at all. Looking at
That
you,
sounds like a
you're the one who
trend in
made
your
him that
house.
way.
Of
Yeah,
mental illness.
I've convinced at least 2 of my children to become trans. Huh? I'm up here to tell everybody about it.
Both the B and the T in the LGBT.
I'm
What? Fetish and
multiply
mental
disabled. I have
condition.
Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a connective tissue disorder that causes me immense physical pain.
Well, I feel
And
bad
yet
about
you
that.
have time to dye your hair,
And I
which
have
takes a lot of
narcolepsy.
muscle strength.
Yeah, here comes all the isms and art and conditions this person has. But yeah, but you have time to do all this, right?
She
But you-
studied all the pantomiming. She just didn't get to the part where you shut the fuck up.
right. And the thing about people that are in a lot of pain is they don't feel like doing much else.
No.
Especially
Really
like
don't.
making yourself look like a character out of a Dr. Seuss book. It's a lot
Don't
of
you
work.
put
right
down my
there.
Dr. Seuss.
That's a lot of work
God.
right there. That crossbow.
And I couldn't drive myself here, so I had to hide from my driver that I was in drag, which is not an easy thing to do in drag.
I do not want to be
Wait,
here.
wait,
It's
hold
when
on.
you-
Is that a guy?
Flaming
I
purple hair.
mean, that sounds like a woman. You know, I should say female, I guess. I'm not trying to be a dick. I do feel bad. Look, I have empathy. If she's got a connective tissue disorder, that sucks. You know what I mean? But my issue, you guys, is that you're unreasonable. You're unreasonable. We are trying to accommodate people and be nice, but this is unreasonable.
Which is not an easy thing to do in Bragg.
I do not want to be here. It's my day off. I do not.
Look what the hell's going on here? What is all this?
Want to be in your DMs. I do not want to be in your email inboxes.
Then stop.
Get out of them.
I do not want my creativity writing diss tracks like Kendrick. I don't want to spend an hour applying glitter on my face so that you will hear and see me.
Well, why did you?
That didn't work. It didn't work.
Do it then, guys. I have this business ethos.
Is that what it is? Glitter.
If you don't want to be here, you probably shouldn't be.
I couldn't tell
and,
what the hell was
you know,
going
because there are
on.
a lot of people that may not want to be at a company, but the paycheck is good. And so it's like, well, I'm getting paid though. And so the issue for me is it's not so much that we want you to leave, but if you don't really want to be here, you shouldn't be. And so
don't go away, man. Just go away.
This individual here.
I want you to
they clearly wanted to put on all that makeup and all that glitter and do their face like that. They clearly wanted to frost their hair and put it back. They wanted to do all of those things. I gotta be honest. Sir or ma'am, I'm not trying to be disrespectful here, but you put a lot of work into that appearance, and I can respect hard work. But you clearly do want to be doing these things. That's the issue with being unreasonable. They come out and they're like, look at me in the crazy ostentatious outfit and makeup and performance that I'm doing right now. I don't want to do this. And we're like, bro, you're in public on TV in front of politicians dressed up in what probably took you 2 hours to do, claiming you didn't want to do it. No one made you do it. So I have to wonder who's forcing you, and should we really be afraid of them and not Trump?
to listen to me.
Let us remember that the Nazis burned the books that.
Here comes the guy from the pedophile
he's
group.
cute. Yeah, he's definitely a pedo. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I ain't getting
stereotyping here.
The Nazis burned books on gender sciences first.
Is that true?
Now the administration has villainized and marginalized migrant workers, trans, LGBT people, and even special needs, denying life-saving and affirming care.
Can you look at me and tell me how many of my friends need to die before you do anything?
How many?
Oh,
You don't want you're never going to get
You don't want that answer from me. I tell you, you might be looking at somebody else.
Any of your friends have died, sir, because that's very sad, and I don't want that to be the case. I'm going to go ahead and make a bet that that number is 0.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you're talking about like self-harm and things like this, in which case, and I mean, it's all seriousness. If there's an individual, you know, if you're having these kinds of thoughts, please seek help. Help is not a bad thing. It's not a bad term. We don't want anybody to get hurt. Don't want anybody to be harmed. But there's a big difference between Donald Trump marching around harming people and individuals harming themselves.
Look at me.
Okay, we're all done here.
Fucking pathetic.
We're all done. Come on.
Of course, we need to
What do
continue
they want?
celebrating
Wash
Black
your
History
hair.
Month because, in spite of what's coming down from Washington, we all know
Look at this dude behind her.
that we all exist and we all need
I'm
to
not
be
gonna say what I was
recognized for
gonna
our
say.
existence.
But be aware that you are a guest in my house when you come. And when you come, know that there are strong queer and trans people in my classroom who will collect you with the quickness.
My name
Yeah, you're out of work.
in drag is Dee Dee Delight. And
Look at that. It's all about attention. Like there's nothing worthwhile about any of this.
my name out of drag is Dewey Cosgrove Atienza.
Laddie LaRouge,
Little
he, they,
publicity.
in drag, District 3.
My legal name is Olivia D'Ambrosio. My public name is Livy Scanlon. My wife and I own a home in the Canal District.
I speak
knew you were
as
gay.
someone who is always misgendered, like all the time. People refer to me as sir when I prefer to be referred to as ma'am.
Oh, it's the ma'am guy.
Oh
That's
my
the ma'am
goodness.
guy.
No, it's another one. There's quite a few of them.
Why they all look the same?
Okay,
Well, the
I don't
redheaded
care what
one
you
just
prefer to
had
be
the
referred to
Adam's
as.
apple removed.
I don't mean to be a dick, but you
It's
don't own the
ma'am.
universe. I do think it's interesting too. Have you noticed they all have like different names? That was like this video is actually much more interesting than I realized it. You know, I kind of started making this video thinking it'd be fun to gloat over the unhinged insanity that is the liberal meltdown over Donald Trump winning and RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard and soon to be Kash Patel. And now I am intrigued. I'm intrigued by what causes people to live in this reality where they show up in public meetings.
Yeah,
They
right.
don't really have a cohesive plan or
Exactly,
demands.
Judge.
They're angry. They're saying they're dying. And they give themselves different names. I'm
They
curious as
legalized
to
a lot of
what
drugs.
this behavior and this cultural trend will prescribe for our country moving forward. I'm
we
not going to
have
play
to
the full
stop
video
it.
for you, but
Why
I
you
will
have-
point out that like it's all performative garbage.
It's all
Whoopi
cultural
Goldberg leads
Marxism.
the charge as the View hosts mock Elon Musk's son over his name. I didn't name the child. You know, look, I think we can understand.
Are you talking about the son who lost, the son he lost, and that son's new name, which isn't his son anymore? You guys ever heard Elon talk about the son he lost?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really sad, dude. He goes, yeah, that's what they mean by like dead manning. My son is dead. He's like,
that's what activated him.
Yeah, exactly, man. And then here comes the cultural Marxist usual idiots on The View, who are just who hate people and think everybody's beneath them, and just want to destroy this country, and have created so many mind control victims. It's not even funny. To mock a little boy, like this is them. Here we go. Let's watch evil incarnated.
And that Elon Musk named Lil X. His name is XAI. I think that's how you pronounce it. I could be wrong. It is an atypical name. I'm trying to be a bit polite. I don't think it's unfair for someone to point out that people were surprised by the name.
Like
it's
Sean Disha, I think is a typical name, and like all the crazy names that come out of like different cultures and different areas and whatever, the ghetto. I mean, there's some what's that whole thing? Even so, the names are so made up that even black folks joke some of the names they hear sisters naming their kids. I mean,
they joke
Florida, that's fluoride. It's like you saw that on the shelf, like chlorexia, Clorox. You know,
come on, I told you I had a kid named Sincere, and the mother insisted his name was Sincere. I was like, no, it ain't. I am not calling him Sincere. It's just not gonna happen.
Right. So, man, hearing a name like X, I mean, that actually is probably going to be a damn cool name in the future.
Atypical. You know what I mean? However, the main issue here is that liberals are latching onto the fact that Elon brought his son with him to places where I think kids should be with their dad to see them work, and they're using that against them. Why? It's not about actually having a grievance. It's just they hate.
Whoopee.
I think what we're actually seeing with all of these people
used to mean
at this Worcester meeting, right? I don't think these people have a real grievance.
That's the newlywed game when you and your wife are making whoopee. Yeah.
I think they have a lack of a grievance. I think what you see here is people who are angry, but there's no substance, no faith, no coherent ideology. And thus, their demands, desires, and proclamations lack coherent ideology as well. Right? I'll explain it like this. If I were to ask someone to draw me a bath, I said, good sir, butler, I'd like you to draw me a bath. And then I go in there and it is too hot. I say, good sir, it is too hot. Please add cold water to it. And he says, okay. Perhaps it is too cold. I say, sir, this water is much too cold. You must add hot water.
Take your time. Thank you so much, buddy. You did a good job on that. And I'll let you just finish up all night on your own right there. Let me go ahead and get the next one up for bat here.
Never forget that Whoopi's real name is Karen.
Yeah, she is Karen. She is
and
Karen,
that she chose a Jewish last name. Gee, I wonder why she did that.
I don't know.
Okay, people, we've discovered some incredible abuses of the budget. I mean, really, where are you getting off with these insane expenditures? $10 million spent on body positivity for Haitians in captivity, $8 million on glitter bombs for Saudi Arabian imams, and $9 million on chocolate fondue for East Ukrainian Hebrews.
They have just as much a right to chocolate fondue as anyone, you Nazi!
Well, I'm sorry, but it has to be cut.
No! If you cut $10 million from the CFEUH budget, what's next? Cutting our $3 million budget to give free McFlurries to Pakistani furries?
Well, now that you bring it up.
Oh, come on!
Oh, wow. That's yeah, no, we're definitely cutting that.
This is insanity. You're letting our budget get cut by literal babies.
Because even an infant can balance these books better than you. I mean, come on, people. Come on. 50 million taxpayer dollars for Kool-Aid water fountains for North Korean accountants. Abortion on demand for pandas in Japan. 1,000 packs of Smarties for Iraqi slumber parties.
If you touch any of the Iraqi slumber party budgets, I will shoot you myself.
I'm sorry, but it has to go.
This is clearly a slippery slope to canceling our program to destigmatize marijuana for Latinx folks in Uganda.
Your budget for that is $9 million, and frankly, I think you can do it for $8 million.
You genocidal freak!
We also definitely need to cut.
Please, not saucy male dancers for Australians with colon cancer. No!
Yes, well, we're at it. We're going to trim. Teaching Zodiac for a more gender-fluid Iraq. A high-speed train for hermaphrodites in Ukraine. Welfare benefits for Aboriginal feminists. And the $12 million you're spending on sex changes for polar bears. This just says sex changes for polar bears. It doesn't even rhyme.
It didn't need to rhyme. It was important enough and it didn't need to rhyme.
The only program left in my department is $12 million to buy IUDs for corgis and Belize.
Yeah, we're going to reduce that.
Reduce it.
Oh, and one more thing. I really think we need to be spending at most half as much as we currently are on easy bake ovens for Saudi Arabian covens.
I don't want to live. I don't want to live. I don't want to live.
Don't do it. You have so much to live for.
Like what?
If it's promoting alternative fuels to Afghani polycules, I have bad news for you. Oh, and lastly, we cut all funding for free handgun ammunition for all U.S. aid positions.
There you go.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
I love it.
Hollow ad, take 1.
Stealing is wrong. Get your screaming
All
lies
right.
in your apartment.
There's a thing going around X that I've seen different like incarnations of different things. I kind of want it. It says, "What's your favorite position?" I like it doji style instead of jogi style. I like it doji style. I do. I prefer doji style. They put it on a t-shirt, on quite a few of them put it on AOC. In memes, it's great. I love that things are funny again.
Isn't it
It's
great?
awesome. It's awesome. No more, oh, I can't be funny. I might hurt somebody's feelings. By the way, whoever said the joke about the Coloretta, whatever, I get the Robin Williams reference. That was awesome.
In case you're wondering, here's how to make a cat happy.
I want to build that. I want that. Our cats would love that. Are you kidding me? You don't even have to put fish in it. You could put like seaweed and stuff. They'd go nuts. Put
All of
fake
it and
fish. They
more.
won't know.
All of it
They
and
won't
more.
know.
Right?
They won't know. I think that would be awesome, man.
I do too.
My cats would freaking live in there. I wouldn't mind sticking my head in that thing once in a while and just watching the fish go around.
I bet you would.
I would. I totally would. I'm
I
very
know you would.
easily amused.
All right, so here is a woman trying to use being taught to use an ice machine for the first time.
Here comes. You have to get it. Early. Just hold it there. Hold it back. It's coming. It'll be there. It'll take a while.
Oh.
Oh, that's mean. No, I know, Val. I know. I would never put that many fish in a small aquarium like that, and I would never stay clean. The amount of just algae and bleh that's in there.
Get algae eaters.
I get it. Yeah, algae eaters. I love this one. It's so cute. So cute. So cute. Timing could have been better, but whatever.
Well, she was singing pretty
hey,
good.
T-Rex. Oh, I'm glad you got her to go to sleep. I got your text, but I'm kind of in the middle of a show and can't answer. But I will. Look at the little legs. Look at it. Look at it. And that's normal speed, people. Like, that's not sped up. I just love it. The little tick, 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 tick.
Call those fish janitor fish. Yep. Get an algae eater. Get a Picassomus, and you'd be all
Yeah, the
right.
problem with algae eaters is if you have fish that like are like angel fish or whatever, they can actually kill them. And will. I don't know why. We've had it so many times it's gone through.
Oh my god, 30 minutes, dude. I can't include that.
I sent you a bunch of stuff in private chat. I don't know if you saw it.
Let me see here.
I think most
Canadian
of it we
food.
covered. Yeah, I said
What?
that we kicked their asses. I think never mind. We looked at most of this stuff. You didn't show the horse. What happened?
What
You
horse?
don't have to. No, I sent you. It's the second link I sent you in the private chat. Jesus.
Holy shit.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious. Me oh my. It's like a strip club for cats. You could look but not touch. Oh my god, that would be so funny. Like you have to put the quarter in and the thing rolls down and then it gets to the good part and the thing goes back up. And I mean the curtain, not the thing. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Whatever. I don't want to play anymore.
No worries, because we're getting ready to wrap her up. Anyways. Let me see what's going on out there.
Castro, that was a great movie. I love that movie. It was good. It was funny, especially like the part with the old lady. And I mean, come on, Patrick Swayze and drag was funny. When they do it for like the comedic effect and everything, it's funny. Flip Wilson used to do it. Milton Berle used to do it. How they all did it. But it was always
we're into it.
It was a joke. It wasn't a lifestyle. You know, they weren't getting off on it. They were making fun of it.
They weren't trying to groom children with it.
Yeah. Like, I mean, they were all degenerates, you know, in one way or another back then anyway. With you talking trash? No, we don't know what you mean. I didn't see. I'm offended. I don't know what you mean. I am offended. And what happens when you're offended? Fucking nothing. Be as offended as you want. I don't mind being offended. It don't affect my health. Wesley Snipes in drag was probably the funniest part of that movie. Because he was jacked, man. Like he had the blade body going on. So he had like all the muscles. I was like, damn. But yeah, that was funny. John Leguizamo was, I was like, buy foundation that matches. I can't. But I thought it was a funny movie. There were some really poignant parts where you kind of felt like, oh, but it also had Rizzo in there. Stockard Channing, and I just love her. I love her. When I was little, I wanted to grow up to be Rizzo, and I did. So I am very Rizzo. The hilarious cartoon Ladybug. I never saw that. Never saw that. We did watch something that was super, super good that we would probably highly recommend to everybody.
Oh, the platform?
Tell them what it was? Besides your platform. Jesus, move on.
That was a group. Dude, don't watch the platform. Don't watch the platform. It's pretty gross and pretty stupid. If you want to watch what a Spanish film looks like, you watch it.
No, don't watch that. No. I very rarely tell people what to do, like in that way. No, don't do it.
It was little.
Oh my!
Amazing Disgrace. Thank you so much for being the stream sponsor tonight. That's a $5 super chat because reasons. Awesome. Thanks for winning. Thank you. Thank you.
That was misleading.
Take care of this old streamer here, and I appreciate it. I do appreciate
streamer. Oh, this old Southern boy. He's just a Georgia boy. He's a good Georgia boy.
I appreciate it.
No, see, you tried to link that with the platform, and that there was nothing good about boobies in that platform movie at all.
No. I
have watched everything you've ever put on the screen in front of me, and that is the only time when you were like, "You want to watch the second one?" I was like, "Nope, nope."
It's really it's not good. Bad. But it's bad and it's gross at the same time. That it's still interesting enough that you'll watch it till the end, which is kind of sad.
We did watch the whole damn thing. No, but I was saying, what did we finish watching last night?
Oh, a Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Yes. It was really good, guys. If you haven't watched the Cobra Kai series, you're a Karate Kid fan,
You're
watch
missing
the whole
out.
thing. Binge watch it. You're missing out.
Mhm.
Binge watch the whole damn moment thing, man. Do it. Someone
That's
tell me
the
how
end
to.
of the season, though. That was really worth it.
That's the
And
end of
it's the end of the series.
Yeah.
I'm going to
It's
tell
really
you,
good.
I was actually very, very happy with the end. And I'm never happy with the end of series that I love. Ever. They always leave me hanging somewhere, or I'm just not, it's just not fulfilling, or you're just like, like this, I was like, oh, all right, it can stop, because it ended perfect. And I was just like, okay, so I'm happy.
They really did. It really did. It ties up all the loose. I mean, that's the way you do a down the road kind of, sequel to a great movie series, actually.
Well, there's a movie coming out in what, a year?
Yeah, and there's gonna be another movie where they take the two different versions of Karate Kid and kind of put them together.
Yeah,
I guess.
But I mean,
I don't know if
this
it's the
is
same thing or not.
Cobra Kai is what happens when people are passionate and are fans of what they're writing. Like they were fans of the movie. They wanted to do it justice. They didn't worry about anybody's agenda. They didn't worry about pleasing this one. They were like, no, this is for the fans, because only the fans are going to really appreciate the series anyway.
Yep.
And but I'm telling you guys, for the ends, that last part of the series, the last 5 episodes, they put so much in there, so many throwbacks that you're just like, oh, right? Like all last night, I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yep. And they wrapped up the loose ends and everything. They did it all.
Yep. No plot holes. It was great. He hates plot holes. They drive him insane.
Nobody likes plot holes. Nobody.
I don't care. Eventually I forget everything, so I'm going to forget them too.
Okay, then. Well, then I hope you haven't forgotten, but we're getting ready to wrap this thing up.
Are we now?
Yeah, we are. We'll get on to getting. We'll get on out of here. A little something different on the way out the door this evening. Let me make sure I got everything set up right before I do this.
Get on, little doggies.
I do. Okay. Right. Okay, cool. All right. So a little something different, just a short little jam on out that I found on X. And that'll be that. But guys, thank you so much for coming out tonight. We'll be back tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Eastern with something for you very exciting, and you have to tune in to figure out what it is. Look for the show announcement late in the afternoon, early evening, and you will be there with us for that, for whatever it is. We will have a good time. All will be enjoyed by all. All will be happy and satisfied. And there you go. That's it. All right. Shelly, say something quick.
Something quick. Judge, plane is landing. Okay. What plane is? I guess he's on a plane. I don't know. Anyway, everybody have a really good rest of your weekend. Stay safe. And what do you want them to do?
Stay based and keep on winning.
Mwah.
Hold to his hand, God's unchanging hand. Hold to his hand, God's unchanging hand. Build your hopes on things eternal. Hold to God's unchanging hand. Go down here. Yeah. Hold to his hand, God's unchanging hand. Hold to his hand. Yep. God's unchanging hand. Build your hopes on things eternal. Hold to God's unchanging hand. Go back up. Yeah. Hold to his hand. Yep. God's unchanging hand. hold to his hand. God's unchanging hand. Build your hopes on things eternal. Hold to God's unchanging hand.
This is a friendship that